Hello, and welcome to the Mild and Lazy Guys podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Matt.
And I'm Andrew.
And we are back post-Christmas at the end of a long and disappointing Cowboy season.
Yep.
One more game left. We'll recap, and then a little bit later we'll talk about our hopes and futures for our I guess, my second favorite part of the year. Football season is my favorite. Draft is right there. Probably 1A, 1B. I'm just excited for draft as I am.
If we're a good team, the season's my favorite. But once the season's apparently over, I'm 100% on to the offseason.
I've been looking forward to draft since October. So, maybe we can talk about my fantasy football collapse.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Poor showing. Yeah, we'll talk about that. What have you been up to, man? How's Christmas?
Christmas was good. So Christmas Eve, Elizabeth wanted to sleep in our bed. So there'd been 4 people in the bed. That's way too many people.
Yeah.
And I couldn't sleep on the couch because then Santa would have seen me.
Sure.
So the only option was to sleep in Elizabeth's bed. So I got to go to sleep under the glow-in-dark stars and tuck myself into some pink sheets. And then I got to wake up and experience Christmas as a 7-year-old girl, which was a new experience. Yeah, she came and woke me up like she was the authority, telling me it's Christmas, come on out. So I got to, open the door with my unicorn on the wall and walk on out to Christmas morning and, to my amazement, look at everything that Santa brought. And
real quick, how do y'all do Santa presents? Are Santa presents out and unwrapped?
Yeah, that's what I told Claire. To me, they're unwrapped. I know in certain movies they portray it as the elves wrapping stuff, but I'm like, Santa ain't got time for that.
Yeah, that's how it was for us growing up, and that's how we do.
That way you can see what
gifts.
he brought you immediately.
Yeah,
so for us, always growing up, Santa never wrapped anything.
Yeah,
and he does not provide the stockings. Because that was a debate, too, in our house.
That's never really been a debate. Stocking was always for mom and dad.
That's what I said. And I said, you save the stockings for last. That's what we did.
Yeah, we
I like
do
to
that.
do that at the very end just to get that last little taste of something.
Mm-hmm, yeah, we all sit around as a family.
Yeah.
And we do it one at a time. Like
one gift at a time?
No.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I guess one person at a time. We'll open their gifts, we'll watch, the next person will open all their gifts.
That's weird. That's what Claire does. They're one at you go and everyone watches. Okay, it's your turn, and I'm like, it takes 90 minutes to do it this way, and I'm like, in my house we just ripped it open, which I get her point because she's like, yeah, but then no one gets to see the look on their faces and experience. You want to soak it in,
right?
It took a month to get here, and I just paid my Amazon credit card bill today. It was almost $550, and I did not get everything off Amazon.
Right.
That was just some of the shit that I couldn't find because we went to the mall the day after Black Friday. So
that's
Saturday,
your personal hell.
Dude, that was awesome. Really? It was 25% capacity.
Oh, wow.
All the deals were still happening. So we got, everyone got new shoes. Everybody got some winter clothes. We ate at the food court. We went to the parks in Arlington, which is the one I prefer over Town East. And I was telling Claire, trying to explain, or Elizabeth, trying to explain it it's a bunch of stores inside one giant store. Mm-hmm. We can eat lunch there. There's a skating rink. Mm-hmm. There's a movie theater, and her mind was just staggered by all this. She couldn't comprehend. She's like, I just have to see it to believe it. And I'm like, oh, you'll see it and you'll believe it. And they had a great time. It was cool just walking around, the nostalgia alone. You know, I couldn't go into Spencer's with them, but I was like, I'm gonna come back and go to Spencer's. Right. We had a great time.
Yeah, we went. I think we went the weekend before, so the weekend of the 21st or whenever it was. We went to Parks because Lauren's brother was in town with all their kids, so they wanted to go to the mall and get last minute stuff. But me and Lauren also went to the Grand Prairie Outlet Mall the day after Black Friday, and everything was still good. We went to Vans. Vans had buy one get one free.
Yeah.
So
that's how I got this hat.
Yeah, me and Lauren both got 2 pair of Vans. Mm-hmm. I don't think we got Langer or anything, but I got a hat. Well, because I wear almost nothing but Vans now, and I try to get Landry into him. He's not. He wants Nikes or Jordans, or we don't buy him full price Jordan. We go to the kids resale shop.
Yeah. And
if they have them there, we'll buy them. I'm not paying that.
Talking
money.
about that, man, how much do I miss or we miss Payless in this generation?
Right.
That came in so clutch.
Yeah.
Because now, I understand when they get into junior high and high school, you want to wear brands and look cool, but I'm right now my 3-year-old son does not need $30 pairs of shoes. No, he's going to grow out of them in 6 months.
Yeah,
I'm taking all the hand-me-downs. And speaking of hand-me-downs, my sister was cleaning out her son's closet, who's he's going to be 13 in a couple months, and she found, Army men, dinosaurs, but then she found those Monster Jam trucks that
Mm-hmm.
are like, I don't know, 3 inches long, 2.5 inches high. You know, they're
Yeah.
they're bigger than Hot Wheels.
Right.
She unlocked a whole new obsession for that boy because as soon as he got his monster trucks, he was all about it. And then I told him, like, you know, these things are real. Like, they have competitions and shows that you can watch. And so New Year's Day, we were home with the kids, and we watched this. We didn't watch it the whole time, but for a good 3 hours, the TV was showing nothing but Gravedigger highlights because that's the only one I can think of by name is Gravedigger. And then it turns out tomorrow at the I forgot what it's called. Wherever they hold the rodeo for the state fair, the fairgrounds, there's going to be a monster truck rally.
Oh, nice.
And it's not Monster Jam. It's kind of like their minor league circuit. Because I was telling Claire, I was like, well, let's look at the cars that are coming. Because now I'm familiar with a few because I've watched so many highlights with Owen. And I'm like, yeah, this is kind of like the next tier down, but we're going tomorrow.
Nice.
We got VIP passes. So we can like do a meet and greet and get right on the ground floor. So
nice. Well,
it's all happened so fast. Like
right.
if you would have told me a week ago that I'm going to a monster truck rally for the first time in my life, I would have said
like,
that's
am I
so
being
random.
forcibly like taken?
And I'm like, well, it's not that it's like it's not uncool. Like it's pretty cool to watch, but I'm like, it's just never been something I've been drawn to.
Yeah.
But Owen's just so fucking about monster trucks
Yeah.
right now, and it just happened to work out.
Well,
His birthday was last week, so I'm like, hey, late birthday gift.
Well, in February, Monster Jam comes to AT&T.
Yeah.
Because the third week in February ish every year, Supercross is there. So while they have the dirt there, the next week because the dirt's already down for Supercross, so they bring in Monster Jam after.
That makes
and
sense.
we go to Supercross every year. So I think it's like probably that last week in February or first week in March, they'll be at AT&T.
I think it's the first week in March because Claire looked it up, and so we got these VIP 4-pack for about $130 with taxes. And she's like, if we want to go to AT&T in March, it's $75 a ticket. So I said, well, let's go to the next tier down because he's only 3. He's just gonna lose his mind. We got to get like earplugs. I'm going to my dad's to get because he goes to the firing range.
I have some if you
do
want.
you?
Yeah, some over the ear like this
Yeah.
for Landry.
That'd
if
be
you want
great
'em.
because I called my dad and he says he has one pair like that, like the ones you wear to a range. But he's like, I got earplugs, and I'm like, well, I'll take whatever. So we're gonna go there tomorrow morning, pick all that up, and then tomorrow we're not gonna have the kids. We're gonna drop them back off because we've been planning to have this night alone because Claire's birthday's on Monday. So this will kind of be like our weekend with her. And then tomorrow we're finally getting through to doing Christmas with her family because we postponed it.
Yeah.
Both kids had the flu. Owen had it 2 weeks ago and Elizabeth had it last week.
Damn.
Me and Claire's been fine though. Like unfortunately, I've been able to work.
Right.
And then on top of that, speaking of catching bad breaks, so I got summoned for jury duty next week.
Oh, no.
And it's on the 9th. Well, that's Jimmy Carter's funeral, and the federal government shuts down. So they're like, "Hey, nobody's working on like Thursday the 9th." And I was like, "I gotta go to fucking jury duty, and everybody else gets to stay home."
Right.
But I gotta check. Maybe local government shuts down too. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
But I'm okay with jury duty. I've already been selected twice and served twice, so it's kind of like
Maybe you'll catch like a good case or something.
yeah. The first 2 was like tax evasion and drunk driving, or not tax evasion, but tax like fraud. Like they were defrauding the city of Garland.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, for like millions of dollars. It was pretty
Oh,
cool.
damn. Straight
I
to
was kind of
jail.
like, respect, but at the same time, you're guilty.
Taxation is theft, but yeah.
Yeah,
you
right.
gotta go.
Especially taxation on someone's paycheck if you're like a teenager without representation. I don't think until you're 18 you should pay taxes.
It's not a bad idea. Yeah,
Right?
because
You can't vote. You can't vote for your
Yeah.
representation.
Yeah.
That's taxation without representation.
Yeah, I like that.
Hill to
I like
die
that.
on.
Hill to die
We're
on.
starting early. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. Also, bring the mood down. RIP to my grandma. She was a sweetheart.
No way.
Yeah, she died like 2 weeks ago
Damn.
at 90. So good life.
She
She had like 3 kids. I think it was 6 grandkids and like 13 great grandkids or something. So
Damn, well, you didn't say nothing, man.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, it happened so quickly because she was in the hospital for like 2 weeks, but she's been in and out, for
Right.
years just
So you
because
don't-
she's so old.
That could have been routine, but
Yeah, and so
she
I'm
just-
like, I would be like, well, how's grandma? And they're like, well, my dad was even like, well, she should be getting out soon. We have to go to a rehab facility just to get her up and moving again in Ennis. And then like literally the next day, my mom called and she was like, you might want to come up here. And then like all my cousins showed up and all the aunts and uncles showed up. And I was like, yeah, this is it. And then the next day my mom called me when I was at work and told me.
Was it your mom's mom, I'm guessing?
Yeah. Yeah, that was my last grandparent. So everyone else is gone.
Oh, R.I.P. Grandma.
R.I.P.
I lost my last grandparent in 2004. So I've been grandparentless for a long while.
Yeah. Not fun.
Well, no. Well, R.I.P. Grandma.
R.I.P.
Sounds like she had a good long run though.
Oh, yeah. Sweet lady.
Yeah, how do I come back from that? Yeah.
Tell me about your Christmas.
Christmas was cool. Had to work Christmas Eve, but I got like they let us go midway through the day. Drove all the way to Cedar Creek because normally we do Christmas Eve with my family, and my family is my older sister, and it used to be right here in town, or actually she used to be out there, like you're going towards Screams, out that way, like 5 Points, that area out there, 878 or whatever it is out there. But she's been at Cedar Creek the last 4 or 5 years. That's where they live now. So I drove from Bedford to Cedar Creek. Took me like 2 hours because it was a torrential rainstorm like the entire time.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But yeah, did that Christmas Eve, came home Christmas Eve night, did our Christmas Eve stuff, put on Christmas movie, cookies for Santa, just chilling, and then did the Santa thing, stayed up, put all the stuff out, and then New Year's came and we didn't do anything. I sat around and
We didn't do shit.
I guess NCAA or college football doesn't care about the common man, because you informed me that none of the college football playoff games were on regular TV.
Yeah, the New Year's Eve and New Year's Day games were.
Sucks.
I guess ESPN had all the rights.
Yeah,
and that's what's so Claire was like, growing up, those were like the best day. Like New Year's Day was awesome to stay home and watch college football. And I kept thinking like, well, I'm gonna check again. And then I checked online, and I'm like, none of these games are on any of the local network channels because I'm a poor boy and I have my digital antenna
over
that
there.
I can set down on a chair and kind of angle it the right way and pick up. I get like 50-something channels though.
Yeah.
For absolutely nothing.
Yep. But I sat around and we did the black eyed peas and cabbage for luck and money and all that jazz. It never works, but yeah. Cabbage is I think luck or maybe money.
I think black eyed peas is luck. So cabbage money. Because my mom's always been about that. She's like, y'all gonna come by, right? But Elizabeth was still sick, and then I had a bag that expired 2 years ago. So I'm like, and it had like holes in the bag. So I was like, probably rats got at it. I was like, I'm just gonna throw this away. We'll just gamble on that. Yeah, we'll
take our chances.
Yeah.
But we did that whole thing, and that was pretty much it. And then the weekend before Christmas, it's her family Christmas, and her brother came up with their family, so we did all that, and that's it. It was good. I wish I had more time off. I'm not used to working a whole lot over Christmas break, because the last place I worked, like the 2 weeks, Christmas week and like New Year's week, we shut down.
Damn.
I think that's the way it should be.
I think it should too. I think productivity is at an all-time low around then, because people are focused on other things, so they're not really getting work done.
Yeah, especially like at work now, like 90% of our clients were closed Christmas Eve, and like probably 20-30% just closed down the 2 weeks. So it was really slow, but now everybody's coming back into office, and now everybody cares about their IT problems and their computer issues. So it's been the last couple of days has been pretty busy. So, but Christmas was good.
Made it out financially. That's what's killing me. I spent so much money, and I don't want to like pout about it, but I got like some socks, a hat.
Oh, I got
coffee mug.
I got a pizza oven.
Oh, see, now that's fucking dope.
Yeah, it's an electric one. It's got like a burner on bottom and a burner on top and a little viewing window. It's like a clamshell design, so it closes. It's got a hinge, and it's got a granite stone surface. So you slide that bad boy on there, and the more you don't clean the stone, because the more you cook on it, the more it seasons, and like it makes the.
That is such a great gift.
Yeah. So last night we took it on its maiden voyage. We went and got pizza crust from H-E-B and cheese and pepperoni and Canadian bacon and all that, and we made pizzas and popped them in the little oven. It gets up to 800 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah, so you pop it in there. It's like 4 minutes, dude. And you got crispy, fresh pizza.
God damn, 4
You cook
minutes.
you cook it at 800 degrees.
Oh, you cook it all the way up.
Yeah, and then it's got all the way from like 200 to 800 on the dials.
Yeah.
So you can, if you want frozen pizza, you obviously scale that way back and throw a frozen pizza in there, and it's supposed to give you like a really crispy crust. So, and me, I'm a pizza. I could eat pizza 5 days a week. Speaking of pizza, I told you we went to Chipotle for dinner, which that place is such a fucking racket, dude. Like the quality, it was shit. Like
really?
The trash cans were overflowing. Like I get it. It's hard to get up and get like motivated to go work a job for 10, 12 bucks an hour, whatever it is nowadays. But it just like they threw my burrito together all sloppy. I'm normally not a burrito guy. I'm usually a bowl guy. But I was like, you know what? I'm feeling a burrito tonight. It was just, they couldn't roll it. And when they did roll it, it just wasn't good. But we were debating on where to go. And Lauren was like, oh, we're asking Lane, do you want to go to CC's? Like, no. I'm like, you know what I would do to go to CC's when I was his age?
I'd have to get like straight A's.
Maybe CC's was just more magical. Or it's not magical, but I don't know. Maybe it was just, I don't know. I would kill. I would kill when his age to go.
If my mom asked if I want to go to CC's, I would think I'm getting punked right now.
Right.
Like that's just not a question that got posed to me.
Right. Yeah.
It would have to be like a special event or something bad just happened and you're going to break the news to me.
Right. At CC's.
At CC's.
Yeah.
You're lessening the blow by taking me to CC's.
Yeah. So yeah, I just don't get kids nowadays.
Well, speaking of New Year's and pizza, I told Claire my New Year's resolution is every month I'm going to get a different Supreme pizza from one of the chains, and by the end of the year I'm going to rank the 12 best Supreme pizzas.
Do we have 12 chains here in town?
I don't know. We're going to find out. I mean, it could be like Mod, Tomatoes, and then the big chains. Like I was like, but if you think about it, she's like, that's a lot of pizza. I was like, that's one pizza a month though.
All right, let's run them down. We got Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's,
Mr. Jim.
Mr.
Jim
Jim's.
started the debate because I got that with the sticky fingers.
Uh-huh.
It was very nice.
Okay.
CC's, Mod.
Did we say Marco's?
Yeah.
Okay. Mod.
Tomatoes,
Tuscan
Slice.
Okay.
That's 8. 3/4
That's
of the way
9.
there. That's 9?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll think of 3 more.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get through that, then I'm like, well, then I'm going to have to go to like smaller like places like
there's
run by an actual family.
There's that new place at the north end of town, Mountain Mike's or whatever. It's
Magic Mike's?
No, Mountain Mike's. Big distinction. I went there and I was severely disappointed.
Looking for like ding dongs.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get a show, but it's over there by Albertsons.
Oh, is it? Claire told me about it. Is it like a fun place? Like they have games and shit?
No, they might have a few, but it's not a fun place. It's fairly small. But give yourself a couple months because I've heard they're extremely expensive. So
I'm not going.
But there's a 10th one.
There's a Tacos for Life that was down that part of town. They shut down because the plate of tacos was like $12 for 2 tacos. I was like, that's not a good business model when no one can afford your tacos.
Nope.
So I feel like that's the same thing. I'm going for reasonably priced.
I'll be tuning in. I'm interested. That's a list I can get behind.
Top Supremes?
Yeah.
Yeah, because me and my mom are the only people that like Supreme Pizza in our family anyways.
Hated it as a kid, but as I've gotten older.
It's always been my favorite. Like, more toppings, the better.
Yeah, as I'm getting older, I like it. It's probably one of my top. With that, or I'll just go the complete opposite way. Is like, if I want a good gauge or like a litmus test of your pizza, to me, it's just cheese.
Yeah.
If you can do a cheese really well, then okay.
And you should be able to do cheese really well. Yeah. That one you told me about at Marco's like 4 years ago, that was like white sauce, chicken, mushrooms, bacon. That was fantastic.
It was.
That was
Shout
so
out to
good.
Ben, my brother.
Your brother?
He turned me on to that one.
Damn, because for a while Marco's was like, I think it was during the pandemic, they would have like 50% off your order. We were getting Marco's like once a week. We'd be getting 2 large pizzas for like under $20.
Yeah, it was like we were living back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it's like
just a little value.
That's all I want is I just want to be able to feed my family
for less
and not go broke.
Yeah, dude. I think Chipotle tonight was like 50.
That's fucking crazy.
And, well, I mean, we got chips and queso, but still, that shouldn't be the breaking point, or the tipping point into expensive.
Like we went to IHOP for Owen's birthday because he loves pancakes. The kids got Kids got each like a kid's plate. Claire got a $6 plate. And of course, I'm a bougie and I got like this big omelet and pancakes. But I mean, with tip, it was $45, and I was like, this is basically just batter.
That's
and
why.
eggs.
That's why we have been hitting up Chili's so much lately. Because
That 3 for me is the best still going,
dude. For an old fashioned or what's it called, old timer, fries, chips and salsa, and a drink, it's like $10.99.
Yep.
Like you can't. I can't get out of Whataburger for less than 15.
I think we talked about this last.
We
episode.
did.
We went
I'm
on.
still on it, dude.
It was so good though. I get the smash burger with like potato soup, and she'll get the chips and salsa, and obviously we split the soup and the chips, and it's fantastic.
Yeah,
Shout
dude.
out Chili's.
Shout out, and they've hit a resurgence. You know, Chili's wasn't shit for a while, and then I don't know. I think you clicked your mic off there, guy. No, the button up here. Little flip. I think when you readjusted it, there you go.
I'm back.
Hey-o. Yeah, I think they've hit
chili talk got me all worked up.
I think they really hit a resurgence, and I think we as a society are hurting for just value.
Well, that's all it is. I mean, it could have been Applebee's or it could have been any chain. Just give us a good value.
Yeah.
And I'm going there.
Yeah, me too.
And it doesn't hurt that the food's good. Like I'm not having a stomach it down. It's actually good food.
It's good. Yeah.
Right. It's always like a food podcast. We always turn around on food.
Can I get one more? I'm going to rant one more time. Firehouse Subs, if you're listening, go fuck yourself. Firehouse fucking sucks. You're down with Subway now. I go in there. I get me a regular size because I think they have small, regular, large. I get me a regular. Landry is now up to a regular. One bag of chips and 2 drinks. It's like $31
for a sandwich,
and it's not good. It's
crazy.
Not good anymore. Like it used to be good. Firehouse 10 years ago was good. Not good.
I've only been to that new location a couple times in town, and I mean I liked it, but not for those prices, man.
One day I just took a personal day from work. And one of the things I miss about working so far away is I don't get to eat lunch with Landry or like walk him to school. So I went and ate lunch with Landry. He's like, "What do you want?" "What do you want?" He's like, "Subway." I was like, "Fucking hate it, but I'll do it for you." Subway fucking sucks too. That might be worse than Firehouse.
I think so.
Good God, I didn't want my sub toasted. Just wanted it just old school cold sub. Because back in the day when we were growing up, they didn't toast subs. That didn't come on to much later.
Quiznos.
Yeah, so I just old school turkey, cheese, mayonnaise, lettuce, pickle, onion, whatever. Dude, I couldn't stomach it down.
They toasted it without asking you or something?
No, I got a cold.
Oh,
couldn't stomach it. It was fucking terrible.
That sucks.
Anyway, rant over. Hill to die on. Fucking Firehouse sucks.
That is a good hill to die on.
Go fuck yourself.
Well, when you're compared to Jersey Mike's, it's hard to not suck.
Dude. Jersey Mike's is the king.
Yeah, undisputed.
Shout out BlackRock. Don't fuck this over.
Well,
don't fuck this up.
Rizzler,
come say hi. Get your one
fart button press.
Yeah, get your fart button press and then do your shout out. And then get out. You want to shout anything out? You got anything to say? How was your Christmas?
Good.
Santa treat you right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. What'd you get?
A gaming PC.
A gaming PC.
Dang, okay.
So now, what are you playing?
FIFA.
That makes sense.
And tell the fans, if you're watching this podcast right now, rate my laptop gaming PC 1 to 10.
Okay.
Well, I'll let them know. Hey, my mom got me a video game too. I got Red Dead Redemption.
Nice.
The second one. I've been ignoring the family and playing that because they go to sleep at like 9 o'clock.
Sure.
So like after this, I'm just gonna go home and play Red Dead Redemption for a couple hours.
Well, the whole reason he wanted a gaming PC, I figured,
it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's a 10. I like that keyboard too.
Yeah. So
Shit, look at that.
The grandparents and aunts and uncles kind of pitched in on the peripherals, which is like keyboard, mouse. I had those speakers.
Yeah.
But the reason he wanted it is because he's been watching me play, and I play a like heavily modded version of FIFA because the regular version of EA sucks as a corporation as a whole. It takes a community to like mod the game to make it,
Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
They make billions of dollars and they rely on like free labor to make their games better.
Well, it's highly illegal. Like you're not supposed to. Like when you download like the little mod manager that runs all the mods, it tells you, hey, this could get you banned at any time, blah blah blah. So that's the reason he wanted it, and I got it. And he turns 10 next week, so so I figured, it's time. So we got him one. I've got it all parental controlled and locked down. And
Yeah, that's important.
well, I told him, you know what Dad does for a living, right? So just mind yourself on there. So, but yeah. All right, Rizzler. Rizzler, can you hear me? Rizzler, come in. Oh, you can
He's
hear me.
zoned out. Yeah,
All right.
he's choosing to ignore us.
All right. Well, you want to do Mount Rushmore?
Yeah,
Okay.
you want this real quick?
Oh yeah, you got me a gift. All right. Let me see if I can do this live on air. Oh, we got a T-shirt. I don't think so. Oh no way. Oh my God.
What is it?
No way.
It's the greatest halftime show of all time.
Dude, I told that story at work, and they thought I was like, they looked at me like I had 5 heads. I was like, I got goosebumps. I was like,
I got goosebumps. I still got goosebumps talking about it.
dude, I got goosebumps when I talked about it. I was like, dude, you know, this is 01, so Matt was 15, like 15-year-old Matt. Like, you combine Creed and Cowboys, dude.
And it's like post 9/11, so like the American fervor was like an all-time high.
Yeah. Dude, that is so fun. Where did you get this?
A buddy of mine brought it up, and he was like, he has that shirt, and he described it to me, and I immediately was like, oh, my buddy Matt would like that. And I was like, where'd you get it? He's like, I got it from the Creed website. And I was like,
No
that's
way.
amazing. Yeah, they sell
They
that shit
sell
on the,
it?
they sell it on the Creed website.
Dude,
So I was like, all right, this was like the first week of December, so I went ahead and ordered it.
that's cool, dude.
I was like,
Thank
well, I
you
got
so
that
much.
locked in. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Like I said, when he told me that, the first thing I thought of was, oh, Matt would love that
Dude.
shirt. He was like, yeah, it's got like wings on it. And
Oh,
it's got like
dude.
Scott Staff coming down. I was like,
Dude,
okay,
I'm
say less, buddy.
I'm rocking that tomorrow.
Wear it on like casual Friday.
Oh, I
Yeah.
wish we got to be collared up.
That's stupid. Wear a collar shirt under it.
I could have worn
Loophole.
over it, yeah.
Yeah. All right, now we can do Mount
All
Rushmore
right, Mount Rushmore.
of favorite childhood TV shows.
Yep. Okay. So I put an age cap on myself. I restricted, so I thought, about 13, 14, you're no longer a kid.
Yeah,
And
that's what I
most of
told
these
Clara. Most of my shows, the latest one premiered in 97. The earliest was like 87. A couple of them, actually, a few were started in the 80s, if I count honorable mention. So,
Yeah, a couple of mine.
and I don't
Started
have like
in
all
the
the
80s.
stats, like how many episodes, but I got the years they ran.
Yeah.
So most of
Okay.
them ran for 10 years or so,
All right,
probably on
let's,
average.
let's hear your first one.
First one's the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle series because
yeah.
my parents will still say like I was obsessed with Ninja Turtles growing up. Like early, that was probably like my first early show, and I had all the figurines and wish I still had them. I probably could resell them or at least let Owen play with them. But
Yeah.
my parents will still make fun of me for being so into Ninja Turtles.
I was super, I even had like the van with the pizza
See, and they
shooter.
shot the shells.
Yeah, shot the pizza.
Shot the pizza.
Yeah, out of like the little turret at the top. Oh yeah, I had all that.
How cool would that be now?
Video
too?
games, the arcade game.
Yeah, I remember
It's iconic.
there was a pizza shop. I think it was Pizza Run off of Villa Road, and they had that old
Oh, yeah.
game up until we were like in high school. Because I remember playing it when I was probably 13 or 14.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
My buddy lived there. We'd walk up to that, get a pizza sub, and just play Ninja Turtles.
dude,
Living the dream.
didn't even know it.
Yeah, and then
You
we'd
were miserable.
Then we'd walk by and find like a nudie mag or something, and just flip through that bad boy.
And then store some away for later.
oh yeah, and you rip a couple
Mentally,
pages
yeah.
out.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Those are the good old days, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. And we thought we didn't know how good we had it. All right, my first one. I'm gonna go ahead and get like the really popular one out of the way. It's The Simpsons.
Okay.
Even though I wasn't supposed to watch it, I watched it. I mean,
I do
minimal
love The
supervision
Simpsons.
here.
That show's still running.
It's still running. I think it started in 88, 87, something like
sounds
that.
about- maybe 88. I think it was right after I was born.
I think it was 88. So yeah, it's still running, and they're still pumping out
It's
content.
still relevant, and they're still like
they're
making
still
like
making predictions. And
yeah, that's
getting
what I'm
them
saying.
right.
Like they have like real world like stuff they talk about
Yeah.
now that's
Yeah.
pretty relevant. And
Oh yeah.
my
All right.
second one was Home Improvement. Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Yeah,
That was a good
Yeah,
show to
yeah.
watch with like my dad. That
yeah.
was,
Well, we got Wilson.
yeah, Mr. Wilson always
Yeah.
spoken over.
Yeah,
That was a good show. So, anyways, that ran from 91 to 99. So it was like peak
That's a good
90s
run.
episode.
That's a good
Peak
run.
90s.
It's a good run. All right, so my second one, and I watched a lot of this it hit that like 5:30 to like 7 block on like 33, and then it was probably on like 33 or channel 21 like after 9. But Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Nice.
It was a wholesome show. It was relevant to a lot of different ages. There was always good messaging behind, all their topics. And like when I was growing up watching it, I didn't understand like the weight of the topics.
Yeah.
Because they tackled racism. They tackled.
Well, he was pretty much, given up. Well, not given up, but raised from a different relative. So that could be like, almost like a stepdad. And
and like
divorces were really big in the 90s.
Yeah.
And showed you how to live with new family.
Yeah, and like one scene that always gets me is like Will's real dad comes back around, and then he gets all excited, and then he ends up ultimately bolting and leaving, and he's talking to Uncle Phil. He's like, "Why don't he want me?"
Yeah,
like really powerful stuff, and like you don't get the weight of it when you're 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. You just don't. But as an adult, it's
I know exactly the scene you're talking about.
Yeah. So Fresh Prince, I still watch it today. If I see it on, I'll stop. I'll tune in.
Definitely a rewatchable show. Third one for me, because Claire said I should have a Nickelodeon show.
Mm-hmm.
And I went with Are You Afraid of the Dark? Just because that's something I got to watch with my sister, and shit got spooky there for a while. If you're like 8 years old and you have like an older sibling that's like messing with you, and then you have to go to your room and like turn the lights off. Dark. Like that's when it gets real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am afraid of the dark.
Turns out I am afraid. Yeah, because my sister's the kind of person that would take joy in like probably watching me squirm, and like scaring me. So yeah. Older siblings watching that was a true experience.
See, I thought about putting that one on there for me. Since I'll match your Nickelodeon show and I'll go out of order. Did you ever watch Wild and Crazy Kids?
I don't know.
So Wild and Crazy Kids was, and I actually that was the one because I was looking up how to explain it, and that was like the one that I pulled up the description on, but. It was essentially a game show with usually teams consisting of children, and they participated in head-to-head physical challenges. There was from 90 to 92 for a total of 65 episodes. One of the co-hosts was Omar Gooding. Omar Gooding Jr.'s, I guess, kid.
Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s kid. Sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, they would play like different like playground games or sports with like unusual rules. So there was like Dizzy Bat Home Run Derby. There was three-legged soccer. There was splash football and one time Rodney Peete would throw footballs to kids jumping off a diving board into a pool.
So it's basically all the stuff you'd want to do when you're hanging out with your buddies.
Yeah. So there was like red light, green light, retitled as red pie, green pie, where a child, if a kid was caught trying to advance after red light, they hit themselves with the pie. So just really wacky games, but it was like, I don't know. It was competitive, and like I was weirdly drawn to anything athletic as a kid. So, but yeah. So Wild and Crazy Kids, and like each team was a different color. So it'd be like red team versus purple team, and they had Wild and Crazy Kids on their shirts. That's one thing I remember, the logo of the show. So yeah, Wild and Crazy Kids. I
need a channel where I can rewatch all these shows now.
I was gonna see if it's still airing. We can look it up after. I'll show you some YouTube clips. It was cool. You would have dug it.
I might even recognize it if you show it to me.
Probably. My
last one, and I remember watching this probably up until I was basically a teenager, like 12, 13, was Recess. I came on after school at like 4 o'clock when I'd get home. I could watch that and Arthur, and I was probably like in junior high, and it was like my guilty little
that's on my honorable mention.
Recess?
Yep.
Dude, that's such a good show. I love that show.
Yep.
All right, that was my last one. You go, and then we'll just knock out honorable mentions.
All right, so my last one is the original Power Rangers.
That's honorable mention, dude. Hell yeah.
Dude, I was a Power Ranger for like 3 years in a row. From like the age of like 7 to like 10.
Yeah.
I was a Power Ranger.
Blue
Pretty
Ranger?
sure.
Green?
Red.
Red?
I was a Red Ranger. Red Ranger.
Pretty messed up that the black Power Ranger was like the only black guy.
Was the black guy?
They could have
and the Asian was the Yellow Ranger.
It's like they could have done something different there, man. They could have swapped those two.
So like there's a picture, I don't know where it's at now, but it was me, Ben, and our younger sister, and I was the red, he was the blue, and she was the pink.
Dude, I got to see that picture.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's amazing.
So and action figures, the whole 9 yards. I did it all. I remember going to Kmart in Lancaster or DeSoto technically, and buying Pokemon shirts and toys and all that. So that was a pretty big one in my childhood.
Yeah, growing up, I think like ninja and martial arts was really pushed on us.
Yeah, Three Ninjas and
we Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, all those movies. I was like, I was really into ninjas growing up, and then just one day I just gave up the dream.
Just stopped believing.
I just stopped practicing.
Yeah. Honorable mention I'll run through real quick. Arthur.
Yep.
Arthur was fucking great. Recess, as we mentioned. Martin, another show
Martin
that was like 9 p.m. Like you're laying in bed. It's on UPN.
Martin was like when you grow up and you're done watching Fresh Prince and you want to watch a little edgier because they had little. That was more of adult. Because he was adult. He was with Gina. Yeah. They lived together. That was like
I was watching
more edgier comedy.
Yeah, when I shouldn't have. But that and like Jamie Foxx show, all those shows that ran on UPN from like 9 to like midnight.
Dude, UPN was the shit. Dude,
it was
all those reruns.
The Wayans brothers.
In Living Color.
Dude, it was so good. So Martin and then Doug.
Yeah, that was Claire's.
Doug.
That was what Claire said I should pick for Nickelodeon was Doug.
Yeah, and then my last one is Guts on Nickelodeon. You remember Guts?
Maybe.
It was like a challenge show. Yeah. In the final challenge, they had to like climb up the Guts mountain or whatever and like try to make it to the top. And they had the slime. They had the slime. It was hosted by Mark Summers. He was like an old school like Nickelodeon host.
Okay.
But
kind of reminds me of that. What was that show like? Temple Run?
Yeah. Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
That almost made it on my list too.
Yeah. See, that was the other one that I kept thinking when you were mentioning all these Nickelodeon shows. I was like, I know that was a cool show because it's just good competition shows.
Yeah, just competition shows.
It's fun watching kids do competitions that you find interesting.
And when you were a kid,
Yeah. I would love to go on that show.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to go so bad.
Right.
Yeah.
And now I just want to go like on Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's all my honorable mention.
My other ones were, I had one TGIF show, and that was Family Matters. Winslow's.
Dude, so good.
Yeah, that was another show where like learning life lessons and like, combating racism and all this stuff. And you're like, fuck yeah, dude. Winslow.
Step by Step.
Dad.
Was another good one.
Yeah. I remember there was like this weird rumor that the cousin that like lived in his van outside of the house was like a domestic abuser, but I think the truth came out and like, I don't know. I don't think he was a piece of shit. But I remember he got like canceled from that show.
Oh, wow.
Before the truth came out, and of course he never got his job back. These last two are shows that I would either watch with like my mom or my older sister. So it was like my edgier shows, Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah,
we watched a shitload.
Fuck.
Yeah,
that music.
Yeah,
fuck.
When that music hit, and then that guy's like Robert something would come.
He
in.
looked scary as fuck.
That voice was like so unlike my voice at the time. And then I think I brought this up before, but me and my mom watched X-Files all the time.
Yeah,
that was like our show.
Yeah, we
together.
brought it up. Yeah,
good show. Good show.
That's good. Yeah, see, that was a little nostalgia. I like that. Mount Rushmore.
We can do more.
You got questions for me?
I got questions and hills to die on.
I got a hill to die on. I think if you park in a handicap spot, you should have to display that handicap that placard all the time. Like you don't get to roll with it down or off the mirror, and then when you pull into a spot, put it up. And I think you should have to prove your disability. Because like I see some people,
they'll give it to you if like you just like hurt your ankle. Like you don't have to be disabled, like crippled. You can just be like,
no, you don't have to be handicapped.
Well, I mean, you do, but it can be like a temporary handicap. Like if you broke your leg, they'll get. No. That's why you get the plate. You don't get the plate. You get the little placard. Thing.
No, fucking. Well, people abuse it.
Oh, 100%.
Because I see people parking there and they're totally fine.
My grandma just died. I told you. My dad's like, guess who's got her handicap parking spot? I'm like, God damn it, dude. It's so fucked up.
No, dude, it fucking pisses me off. It pisses me off so bad.
Well, it pisses me off when someone gets out and then literally like jumps out of their car and hustles inside.
Yeah.
And
I'm like,
you're a piece of shit, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And there's spots like 10 feet away that you could park at normally.
You could use it.
I will circle around if there's not a spot, because I'm not parking handicap, but I'm also not the guy that's going to circle and wait for a spot to open. Like, I'll go at the far end.
Yeah.
And then and by the time I walk in, you're still looking for a spot.
Sure. Yeah, I do that too. I'll park right back.
Cars like, we're not circling around. Let's just park here.
I'll make one pass. If there's one, cool. If not, I'm going to go to the end of the road.
I'll do a pass.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, we're going to go over here now.
Yeah.
Okay, questions first. So Owen loves glizzies.
Dude.
I think we all do.
Dude.
But if you had to do one of these two ways, would you rather boil it or microwave it?
Boil it.
Me too.
Boil it.
That's what we had
110%.
growing up.
Yeah.
Because he always wants a hot dog, and I'm like, let me just boil them real quick. Because if just microwave it only takes like a minute or less. I'm like, this poor boy is having to
It just feels something wrong. It feels something about it feels off.
And Claire thinks boiled hot dogs is weird. And I'm like, that's what you get at like a baseball game or something.
Yeah.
Like it's a boiled hot dog. And growing up, that's what we always had.
I'm glad you brought that up because going back to New Year's Eve night, night, me and Landry had glizzies for dinner. I had chili dog. I made chili dogs, cheese,
Have you
onion.
seen the thing where they'll get a corn dog, take the stick out, cut it down the middle, and open it?
You hear the sigh? I've
That's a
seen it.
deep sigh.
Yeah, dude, I've seen it.
We need to do that at the draft house. Just buy 36 or whatever. We can each get like 3 corn dogs, a couple packs of canned chili.
Where's Matt and Andrew? They're in the fucking kitchen eating chili
Eating all the
corn dogs.
I'm okay with that.
And then I saw, I guess, like my TikTok algorithm just picked up on the fact of me like eating hot dogs or talking about hot dogs. And I got so many like TikToks of people having like a countertop roller.
Oh, I've seen that. Like they had the Oscar Mayer kind that you would have at the movie theater.
So bad, I want
You
it.
can put it next to your pizza oven. It's like I never have to leave the house now.
I want it so bad.
That's like 12-year-old Matt's dream to have a hot dog roller.
That's right.
And it's like I'm 40 and I'm living the dream.
That's right. That's right. Speaking of, and I'm glad. Forgive me for the tangent, but going back, we went to the movies New Year's Day night and we saw Sonic 3.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
those first two are pretty good.
Pretty good.
like
Landry's
them.
on a Sonic kick all of a sudden, as you can see from the Sonic on the wall there. But yeah, so we went and saw Sonic. Got 2 glizzies there at the they're dollar dogs.
Dollar.
I don't care.
That's the best deal in town.
Yeah, I don't care that we've had rat problems there. I'm risking it. I'm here a week later, so I'm fine, obviously, or a couple days later, so I'm fine, obviously.
Well, when a bag of popcorn is like $13, and it's like I can buy 13 hot dogs. But
Yeah.
Why would I not take the hot dogs?
yeah. So
I'm about to wreck y'all. Like I hope this family behind me doesn't want any because I'm buying every
I'm
hot
clearing
dog.
them out.
Yeah, and I'm taking the rest home.
Yeah, dude.
I'll take them home and take them to work tomorrow.
Yeah. So yeah, we went to the movies. I never, it's always a big deal for me to go to the movies because I'm not a big movie goer.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We've
it was
been
good.
trying to go because we want to see that Nosferatu, and then we want to have the kids tomorrow. And Claire's
I
like, "You
heard
want to
it's
go?" I was like, "I'm not going to the movie theater. I'm so anti movie theater on the weekends. Like, I worked there for so long. I just
Midday,
know
is it? Well, I mean, even if y'all went midday, is it bad on the weekend?
it's always bad on the weekends.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't know.
So like, we need to go on a random Tuesday night. Plus, the tickets are cheaper on Tuesday.
True.
But, all right, now for a little darker. Are you pro death penalty?
Yeah.
Depending on the case, right?
Yeah,
That's what
depending-
I say.
punishment
depending on
fits the crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like no doubt about it.
Yeah.
The case I always say is Dylan Roof, the guy that that killed 9 people in a church to start a race war.
Bye.
That guy should die.
Bye.
But then you have people that I just randomly remembered there was that case in Corsicana. I think it was right around we were born or we were real young.
Did it involve a house fire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they said the dad caused it or he didn't go and try to save them. But I don't know. It turns out he didn't cause it. He tried to save them. And he got blamed for all their deaths, and they killed him. And then, 10 years later, they're like, "Ooh, whoopsie,
My bad."
Yeah, it turns out he did try to save him, and he didn't call. It was I don't know how it
remember that.
started, like electrical fire, but
Yeah.
he got charged with causing
I
a house
remember
fire.
that. I
And I'm like,
remember
dude, that poor guy had to watch his family die, and then they immediately charge him, and then the state of Texas kills him. So, yeah, I'm pro death penalty. It just depends on the case.
Yeah.
All right, now more lighthearted stuff. Back to food. Peanut butter, creamy or crunchy?
Crunchy.
God damn it. What kind of jelly you put on it?
Strawberry.
Okay, we're not friends anymore. What the fuck, dude?
But really, I love peanut butter. Those are preferences, right? I'll take whatever.
True.
But if you have to choose, I'm going crunchy. I like strawberry.
I can put strawberry on it. I'm not. But the crunchy, maybe I just need to give it another chance.
So secondary question: do you like the honey, the natural, where it's the honey, where you've got the layer of oil on top, and you've got to mix it every time?
I don't mind that, but we always buy we're such a one family where we get the Peter Pan honey roasted creamy.
Okay.
That's our brand.
Okay.
That's the brand I would probably die with. Like I could sell out any other clothing brand or
Yeah.
even the Cowboys, but I'm keeping my Peter Pan honey roasted creamy.
We don't have a brand preference. We usually go for what's on sale, but what we won't do is we, as a family, we'll do this for a lot of other things, but peanut butter is one we won't, in that store brand peanut butter.
Oh, like Aldi, you can't get peanut butter there.
No.
We found that out.
So like anything else we'll substitute, like canned vegetables or hell, even chips. Like we'll go store brand, but peanut butter, we always go Jif, Peter Pan, Skippy, whatever's on sale. We always go name brand.
Well, I agree. You can't cheap out on peanut butter and toilet paper. Something I've learned as an adult.
Nope.
All right, these were Thanksgiving questions that I never got around to asking you, but you prefer turkey or ham?
Shout out to my mother-in-law if you're listening. I'm sorry. Turkey if I make it, ham if I'm not making the turkey.
So you're the only one that knows how to make a turkey?
Yeah.
My brother-in-law's that same way. Like he makes a really good turkey, and I'm like, if he's making the turkey, I'm down. But other than that, I like ham. And I had leftovers like for the next few days, and I made a ham and cheese, like grilled cheese. I should have taken a picture of it, dude. I was so proud of that. It like just the way I cut it, it just split the cheese open.
Yeah, and one of the nieces, one of the nieces, Lawrence brothers, girls came up to me and was like, "Uncle Matt, you can't let Yaya do the turkey next year." I'm like, I got you.
And you just had to thank you, little one.
I got you. So, and it's really the prep before that makes it, because like the night before I'll brine it, so I'll stick it in like a liquid brine, let that brine for 24 hours, pull it out, dry it off, season it, and then inject it. Like inject the breast.
Yeah, see, most people don't give a shit about that. They'll just put it in the oven.
No, that's what makes it.
Do you cook it in the oven, or do you do it in oil?
I do smoker, so I smoke it.
Damn, so I kind of do want to try your turkey
And
next
then
time.
I've gotten smart, and I don't do whole birds anymore. I'll just do bone-in breasts. So it's essentially just the, without the legs or the wings, and cuts down on the cooking time. You're not, cooking it for 5-6 hours. It's more like 2 or 3 hours. And, I eat the dark meat, but nobody really eats dark meat off the turkey. I do because I like dark meat, but
You and my Uncle Johnny.
yeah,
The
I
two
like
guys
the
I know.
old turkey leg.
All right, mashed potatoes or sweet potatoes?
Oh, fuck. You asked me 10 years ago, mashed potatoes all day. In the last, 10 years, I really, really like sweet potatoes.
Claire makes fantastic sweet potatoes. I got to make you some.
Okay, yeah.
When's your birthday? April 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got it. Okay, I'll remember that.
Yeah. So, yeah. And especially like when I'm eating healthy, like sweet potatoes are like kind of a cheat code because they're really satiating. Like they keep you full. They're really good, low in calories.
So, she shouldn't put pecans and marshmallows.
No, do
on
that
it?
for me.
Okay, I was gonna say
do that
because
for me for
she
my
does
birthday.
all that.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
do that for me, please.
Yeah, she does. Like even people that always comment how good her sweet potatoes are and make her
Like at the beginning of our relationship, mine and Lauren, I would never ask her to make sweet potatoes for Thanksgiving. Now every
I feel like
Thanksgiving,
I'm the same way. I didn't try it until I was probably 30.
Yeah,
And I don't love them, but I'll put them on my plate now. Whereas before, I never even gave them a second glance.
Yeah.
But they are good.
Oh yeah, really good.
You can eat them cold too.
Oh yeah,
Like leftovers, just get a spoon out. Yeah.
sweet potato pie.
Okay, this is a make or break for me though. Pecan pie or pumpkin pie?
See, I don't really like either. If I do holiday pies, it's chocolate.
Like a chocolate meringue.
No meringue doesn't matter. Chocolate or Lauren made me a Butterfinger pie this year.
Like the
candy bar?
Holy shit.
So she essentially made like a peanut butter mousse, and that was like the base of the pie, and then crunched up in the Cool Whip on top were Butterfinger, like crunched
That
up.
sounds so good.
Yeah,
You got goosebumps.
yeah, goosebumps.
Talking about your
Heavy breathing.
So it was a Creed concert and pie gave you goosebumps.
I'll tell you, nobody got a piece because I ate it all.
It was your birthday.
I hit it. No, it was for Thanksgiving.
Oh, I thought
hit
it was a birthday
No,
pie.
I hit it. I took one bite and I was like, "Yep, nobody's getting this." Threw it in the back of the fridge. Put the lid back on. Threw it in the back of the fridge. I just ate on it for like 2 days.
All right. I put on here. How do you like your chili, with or without beans?
No beans.
And do you put anything crunchy in it, like crackers
Yeah,
or
I like
Fritos?
Fritos, crackers. Yeah,
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I prefer
cornbread
Cornbread in it or on the side?
on the side, but
Okay.
you break a little piece off, get a spoonful of chili and a spoonful
Right.
of cornbread. Yeah.
See, I like Fritos in mine,
Mhm.
and I guess I do like beans. You ever had cornbread milk? In milk, like dunked Like you put the whole piece in there and
No.
eat it with a spoon?
No, but my grandma did that with buttermilk and cornbread.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a country thing.
Oh,
That's what my grandma did and taught my mom to do, and then we all just ostracized her for
buttermilk?
that. I don't know. It wasn't buttermilk.
See, my grandma did it with
That's
buttermilk.
next level.
Yeah, well, she was born in like 21, so she grew up in like the Depression. So yeah, I think that was a Depression thing
For sure.
and it was the gnarliest thing I've seen her eat. Yeah, it was
I don't know,
gross.
she probably ate like other shit growing up. You know, like squirrels and anything
She
else they
did.
could get.
She
yeah,
did.
That's what I'm saying. That's what my grandmas did.
Yeah, she did.
Same thing. Grew up around that time. All right. So this is just a food podcast at this point. When you're eating fries, do you pick up one at a time, or are you getting multiple and dumping them in like ketchup? Like,
maybe at the beginning I'll pick up one just to dip the toe in the water. What am I working with here? Are we?
I was at Whataburger when I came up with this, so we're eating Whataburger.
Okay, so I pick up the first one. It may be single. Are we doing like? And that'll tell me: do I have like under-seasoned fries? Do I have overcooked fries? Do I have crispy fries? Do I have?
I mean, it's at Whataburger, so you never know.
And then after that, I'm just grabbing them 4 or 5 at a time.
See, I'm going at least 2 to 3.
Yeah.
And I'm dunking them.
Yeah, I'm dunking
Every time. I feel like a little Nancy boy if I do one.
jalapeno ketchup or regular ketchup.
I like, let me get to this next question. It was at Whataburger, are you getting fancy ketchup or spicy?
I like the regular.
Me too.
The spicy ketchup's not bad. I just prefer, because there was a while there where I would go to Whataburger and they were out of regular ketchup. I don't know if it was a supply issue, but they only had spicy, and it got me by.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
All right. So when you're eating fries, you like them crispy or soggy?
Oh, crispy.
I don't mind them soggy boys though.
You know, another weird fry thing I have is like when you go to McDonald's or Whataburger, but the little baby ones that are really crispy, like the little small ones that are kind of like settle at the bottom. You get through all the big, normal size fries. I like the little crunchy boys, the little small boys at the end.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
good. They're
I like
really
to pick the pickles off of my burger, and then at the end, I put the pickles on my fries.
good. Okay.
Is that weird?
No.
I save that for the very end. That's like my final treat. Like the last 10 fries I got, I'll put like 2 fries together and put a pickle across it. Eat that.
Okay. Not weird. Landry, he thinks he's like next level for this, but he puts fries on his burger.
Oh, of
He'll
course.
just
And when
go
you're
to
a kid,
town.
you're the smartest kid.
Oh, yeah, for
like,
sure.
You're like, I just unlocked something that's going to change the world.
Yeah.
It's kind of like putting Doritos on your peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. Oh, do you do that?
I mean, I did when I was a kid.
I never did that. On like a ham or turkey, yeah, but not peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, that's good too.
Maybe a banana or two.
You can do either one. Okay, I think that's all the food questions. I still got a few more. Well, I do have one at the very end. Okay, if you had to flee and not get caught, are you trying to cross the border? Are you going into the woods? Or are you going to try to blend into a major city?
Oh, I think okay, woods or
But you
major
gotta-
city. Those are
Or
the two?
flee the country? So
I
you
think-
can try to cross the border. That seems dangerous.
Oh yeah,
Living in the woods, you got to be able to sustain yourself. So I think the logical answer would be to go to a major city and blend in.
yeah, I think so.
With like 1 million people, right?
Yeah, you go to
just try
New
to
York
blend
City
in.
and just
Because
try
I
to-
was like, I'm going to go to the woods. And Claire's like, you'll be dead in a week. And I'm like,
Fair
you
point.
know me well. Like, I would die so quickly.
But now cities are so surveilled. Like I think you'd have a hard time unless you
yeah,
went
like London,
in.
they have like cameras everywhere with like facial recognition.
Yeah, I think and you'd have to go in already with your appearance changed or altered in some point, at some
I just
way.
shave this off. Maybe mohawk. Look like a midlife crisis guy.
Yeah.
That could work. Okay. Okay. So there is more. There's more.
Come on,
food
bring it
questions. Do you cut your sandwich? How did I word it? Do you cut it in half or diagonally?
Usually diagonally.
That's how I do it. I feel like
Yeah.
that's an adult cuts their
Yeah.
sandwich.
Yeah.
I had this
Usually
argument with
diagonally.
Claire. I was like, "You're a fucking child."
You're a child.
Like when you cut the crust off too. How do you like your tuna? I think I asked you this before. Don't you like apples and grapes and all that?
No, that's Lauren.
Okay, so we're normal.
I'm tuna, mayonnaise, touch of mustard, pickle, or dill relish, onion, egg.
That sounds fantastic. I would agree, except I would probably put in olives and jalapenos.
See, I could live with that.
Yeah.
I could live with that.
Okay. Serious question. How do you wipe after a poop? Because I know you just dropped one. I think I've gotten shit for this before because I like stand up like I'm Quasimodo and like hunchback.
No, I
it.
just kind of reach back and reach
See,
back
I know.
and wipe.
I asked this guy one time,
front to back.
and he goes under his balls. And I'm like,
So if he goes under his balls, I'm guessing he's going back to front. Like he ends up back toward his balls.
I think he starts, starts at the back and wipes
you
towards his
wouldn't-
balls.
you
And I'm
wouldn't
like,
wipe.
your hands are like so close to the doo-doo water and you're dragging your balls. And I'm like, who taught you how to wipe your butt? But I know I get a lot of crap because I stand up a little bit and kind of do like that. That's my number. And apparently I'm the weird one because I brought this up before and they're like, ask me the same thing. Like, who taught you how to
That's
do
all
that?
weird. I kind of just do a little lean. I'm still seated, but a little lean, front to back.
Why'd you put it in front of your face? You like
You
looked at
check it. You got to check it, and then throw it in, and then depending on what's on that toilet paper, you just keep going.
That's true. You
I
got
had
to check
one-
it. You
I
got to
had
check
one
it.
2 weeks ago. I wiped and I wiped and I wiped.
It's like wet paint back there.
It was just like a marker.
Yeah.
Like so there was a marker back. I mean,
that happened
I'm like,
to me at work.
I'm just getting in the shower. Like fuck it. Like I'm
just gonna
wiping.
shower.
I'm wiping forever. I'm just getting in the shower.
Well, I had that happen at work, but luckily they have like those high-powered toilets that when you flush it, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh my God, like I'm not clogging up this toilet. But eventually I finished and it took it all.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta you can't get too much toilet paper and you gotta do a flush and then keep wiping. But yeah, I was like, fuck, man, I'm just getting in the shower.
I want one of those Japanese toilets. Like South Park did a whole episode on that. You didn't see it? Basically, it's just like a fancy, like I think
Got a bidet?
it's a bidet, but then it like spritzes you. I mean, it does so much stuff. I think it like cleans your balls and all this stuff.
Nice.
I looked it up, dude. Like Lowe's sells them.
No,
But of course, Claire thought I was weird because I'm like, she's like, why do you want a Japanese toilet? And I'm like, they're living in the future over there. Why wouldn't I?
Do you have a squatty potty? Have you ever shit with a
I
squatty
bought
potty?
one for my brother-in-law, and if he doesn't, I bought like 8 years ago, and I bet that fucker doesn't use it. But I think
Dakota?
I talked about this, yeah,
Yeah.
because in front of my bathroom or in front of my toilet is the tub.
Oh,
where
that's
I can
perfect.
Put my
Yeah.
feet up,
Yeah.
and it works.
Yeah, we tossed around the idea a couple weeks ago of getting one. I think we might snag one up.
I think I bought one off Amazon, like $20. But at the same time, it's like you could make your own.
Sure.
You could just put I'm looking at a cardboard box right there. Just stack that
Yeah.
thing up right there.
Yeah.
Because that's all it is. You just want to elevate your feet.
Yeah.
And it kind of lines your guts up a little bit more. It's pretty
For
smart. Okay. I got 3 more. Would you rather win a Nobel Peace Prize, a Pulitzer, or an MVP in your chosen sport?
Give me a fucking fuck society.
You taking the
I'm
MVP?
taking MVP, baby.
Okay. I think I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
win.
get paid.
I'm gonna win a Pulitzer one day, dog.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write a piece of fiction that's
Hey.
gonna blow your mind.
I'd support you.
Okay. Last 2. You get $50 million, but you instantly turn into Jar Jar Binks for the rest of your life. Would you do it?
No.
For 50 mil?
Yeah, well, what am I going to do? Hang out at my compound?
Yeah,
I
just hang out
guess
with your
so.
family.
Yeah, I guess so. But then they got to look at me as Jar Jar.
Dude, people shit on Jar. Like I was telling this first, I asked it to Claire, and then
It's a bad rap.
her question was, "Who the hell's Jar Jar Binks?" So then I showed her, and she's like, "You're weird. Why would you even think that?" And I'm like,
So did you go get divorce papers and shit?
"That's what I said." I said, "Well, obviously I chose the wrong woman here because we could live a life of luxury, and you just have to love me." And she
Unconditionally, like
Yeah.
our vows say.
Yeah.
You've already taken a vow.
Anyways, I thought that was a good price. 50 million. I said I'll do it for 5 million. We'd still be set for life.
Yeah.
Okay, last one, because some lady on my route gave me a piece and it was so good. What are your thoughts on mint chocolate?
I got a bag of York in there.
Dude, this was a Garandelli because this was at the fancy neighborhood I delivered to.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess I just had a sweet tooth that
Is
day.
it's exquisite.
It was so good. It was just one of those little squares, you
Yeah.
know, like an inch by an inch.
Yeah.
But I'm like, fuck it. Like, I'm kind of hungry right now. I got a sweet tooth and I ate it. And I was like, I've been sleeping on mint chocolate
Oh.
for 37 years.
It's funny that you bring that up because I got back on it, I guess, with the Christmas season. She's like, where are you buying Yorks all of a sudden? I'm like, they're fucking good.
Yeah, but see, that's different. That's a peppermint patty.
What do you...
Isn't peppermint different from the mint? Because I don't know. I got to check
No,
because
I think
I got one piece
peppermint, like
that's
cream.
that's like a peppermint bark,
That is different than
Okay.
like peppermint cream.
but a peppermint patty. And like an Andes. Remember those growing up?
Yeah,
It's pretty fucking good, dude.
we got those too. When we went to the movies, we went to the dollar store and got candy before.
Oh, you have to.
Junior mints, bro.
Yeah.
Junior mints are so good.
I feel
dude.
like I unlocked a new thing. Like
people sleep on it.
I
dude.
think I'm into mint chocolate now.
Junior mints, York. I'll throw you a couple Yorks.
I was gonna
on
say,
your way
dude,
up.
I'll take a York
Yeah,
peppermint
yeah.
patty. That sounds
I'll throw you-
good.
dude. They're so good.
It is. And I don't know, man. I've just been sleeping on them. Okay,
man.
I got a few hills to die on. If you don't have questions,
No.
okay, these will be quick. This is a fact, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Above ground pools are more fun than below ground pools.
What do you mean by more fun?
Like you can just do so much more stuff in it because you can touch the whole way. So like growing up, we had an above ground pool, and it was just playing basketball. You could play volleyball in there.
So you're talking about it from a water depth standpoint.
just as like an activities standpoint. Like if I want to go diving and swimming, obviously I'll take the below ground pool. But if you're just looking to have fun in a pool, the above ground pool is the way to go.
Nowadays the most popular choice for in-ground pools are what they call play pools, where it's like 4 and maybe 5 in the middle and then 4 on the other end. So you can.
My sister had one of those at their old house, and I'm like, you just paid like $60,000 for the equivalent of an above ground pool.
That's wild. That's a lot of money.
Well, now that was 10 years ago. I think they spent more on their new house. They make money though.
Oh, good for them.
Okay, bean dip has to be eaten with Fritos, not tortilla chips. That's my personal opinion. Like the Frito dippers. That's the best way to eat bean dip.
So canned bean dip, yes.
I guess I'm thinking of the brand, like the
Fritos brand.
Yeah.
Looks like dog food, cat food.
It does look like dog food.
Yeah.
Cat food.
I agree. I 110% agree. Fritos scoops has got to be eaten, but like one of our favorite Mexican places, jalapeno lemon pepper.
Right.
They've got the bean dip, and that is killer with their chips.
You're right. I guess when I wrote that, I was specifically thinking the Frito-Lay brand.
Absolutely.
The canned food.
You're 110% correct.
I appreciate that. All right, this one I'm also pretty confident on. So the bite-sized rounds tortillas, the little rounds, they are the goat of dip chips for me.
Okay.
I don't prefer the triangle ones that are so big I have to like break them into pieces.
Sure.
Just those little fun-sized tortilla rounds is the perfect size for one dip chip.
I could go there with you. I'm a big fan personally of the Julio's, the seasoned chips.
Oh, those are good, especially those spicy ones.
Yeah, and I
think you got me onto those years ago.
I make salsa and
those are good.
Shit, I had one and it just floated away. Bye bye.
Was it food?
It was food.
Related?
It was food. Fuck, maybe I'll think of it. Damn it. Lauren called me a freak because when I made 2 chili dogs the other night, and then I made just like one regular without chili on it, and I put mayonnaise on it. She called me a fucking freak.
Claire would call you a comrade.
Yeah, she would. Yeah, she would. And she was like, I don't think you can call Andrew and Claire weird for putting Miracle Whip on their tacos after I've just watched you do that.
I've seen Claire put Miracle Whip on almost everything except like pancakes.
Dude, Miracle Whip has its place. For me, it's like a ham sandwich. That's a childhood thing.
That sounds fantastic.
Like any ham sandwich with Miracle Whip.
I could put mustard. I usually do mustard and Miracle Whip.
Okay, all right.
Damn, what was I about to say? Oh, speaking of hot dogs, because we're just talking about hot dogs all episode. For when we'd have chili, because growing up, chili dogs would just be like a thing for dinner.
Yeah.
Like, hey, it's Tuesday, we're gonna have chili dogs today. My dad would always cut the dog in half, and then get the buns in half, and then lay it on the bun, so it's like 2 separate, and then put the chili on it and eat it with a fork.
Yeah, I eat mine with a fork.
He's the only person I ever knew that would cut it each in half and then dress it up.
See, I didn't even think of that step. So shout out to your dad for putting me onto something, but I do eat it with a fork. Chili dogs with a fork.
I mean, you kind of have to.
You kind of have to. It gets a little messy,
especially when you got a mustache like this guy.
See, I don't. I can't. I'm not manly enough.
Damn. Okay.
I wish I could grow facial hair, dude. I just can't.
Landry's gonna be having a beard by the time he graduates.
Yeah,
you like Sonic hot dogs? They're chili dogs.
They're not my fave, but yes, I'll eat them.
Once every 6 months, I'll just be like, I'm gonna go to Sonic and get a foot long.
Get a coney.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go get a foot long cone dog.
Yeah, I think my time frame's a little longer. I think probably once a year I'll crave them. But I'll fuck with them a little bit.
It's just one of those things, like every once in a while.
Yeah.
Okay, this is I enjoy the smell and maybe a small nibble of Play-Doh.
I enjoy the smell of Play-Doh. Can't say I've ever nibbled it.
Just a little nibble. It's a little salty, a little tart taste.
I can't say even.
It's kind of like wine tasting. Like you just get it. And then you spit it out. You don't swallow it. You just get the taste, and then you get it out.
My man's over here chewing on Play-Doh.
Yeah, I got 2 little kids, and they always want to play Play-Doh. And I'm like, you know what I did when I was little? I'm like, yeah, it tastes the same.
Yeah, you got any Elmers around the house? Have you ever shown the kids like gluing their hands and then peeling the glue off?
I used to just play with glue all the time.
Oh yeah.
So I was telling, like, I hate to sound like an old boomer, but I'm like, kids these days, man. Like I tell Claire, like, I would just hang out in my room and throw a ball against the wall for hours at a time. You know?
Yeah.
And
I'd
be doing an arts and craft project, and then it just turned into a glue eating festival.
Bye, Rizzler.
All right. This one was inspired by a neighbor of mine. So people who play loud and shitty music in a shared space like a neighborhood or a work setting are assholes.
Yeah.
It's different if you're in your car and you're driving around. Like, I'll accept that as long as it's not like hurting my ears. But this guy, like, we're in a neighborhood just like this, right? Like, houses are pretty close. Like, we're not on acre lots. And this guy was playing it where you could probably hear it half a mile away. And it was like shit. It was like, I mean, this guy's, he's playing like gangster rap music. And I'm like, dude, you're like middle-aged. You're not black. You know what I mean? And like, I got my kids out in the front yard, and all I hear is like all this profanity. And I cuss as much as the next guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, you know, I try not to do that around my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're just like invading all our ear space with your music.
Yep. I'm
So-
glad you brought that up. One hill to die, another hill to die on, and it happened to me today. I can't stand what mental illness do you have to walk around in public having a conversation on a speakerphone?
Yeah, a shared conversation.
A
with
shared
everybody.
conversation, like
Same
I'm
thing
talking
if
to
you're,
you
like, in a grocery line, and people just pick up the phone and start talking.
That's fine if you want to do it at a discreet level, like because I'll have to answer my phone sometimes, but no, these people are having a spirited conversation on speakerphone for the world. I think speakerphone call talk. You go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's
I hate
weird.
it fucking sucks.
Even if it's like my mom or dad, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna call you right back. Like if I'm in a line or I'm in public, you know, I'm not gonna, or if I'm working and like I see a guy coming out, I'm like, hey, hold up a minute, like,
yeah, that's fine.
and I'll be like, hold on, there's somebody, and then I'll talk to this guy and I'll go right back to the conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna continue a conversation around people I don't really know.
I think even answering your phone in public, like at the store or in line, is cool if you can have a lick of common sense and speak at a normal, because it's modern technology. You don't have to yell. It's got a microphone that'll pick up your voice. If you're talking normally, have your conversation. Cool.
Yeah, but
When you got it on speaker and you're having a full conversation and they're blaming you for putting this somewhere and you're arguing back, oh no, I didn't put it there, I put it here. You're just no, fuck that. Get lost.
Yeah, that's weird.
Put them in a cannon and fucking fire them off. Fuck them. Can't stand them.
All right, 2 more hills to die on. This one's inspired by Claire because she's the only person in the world that does this, and it drives me crazy. But adding water to soap, like if the soap gets low, she'll just add water to it. It defeats the purpose of the soap because you dilute it down. All its germ fighting capabilities are now watered down.
I'll do that if I need to get by, like if I don't have any in reserve.
But I said, Claire, did you check under the sink? I always buy fucking more soap. We
Right.
always have soap. She's like, I didn't want to go get it. It's like, so you just diluted the soap and just washed your hands with water, basically. I mean,
I think there's something.
it drives me
there.
wild, dude. It's one of those things I nitpick because, Claire's a great wife. Like, I'm very happy, but it's like she can't put the toilet paper on right. There's a right way to do it.
Yeah. Over
She can't,
under.
and she waters down soap. Drives me crazy. So that's when I know I'm in a good spot because that's my nitpicks with my wife.
That's your biggest bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is something that drives me and Claire crazy because we're always driving together and like nitpicking how other people are such bad drivers. So if you're in an intersection, right, like a 4-way intersection, and I'm coming this way, say I'm headed north, but I need to turn. So I'm in the middle of the intersection, just established myself in the middle of the intersection, middle of the road, and I wait for the light to turn red, and there's no opening, so the light turns red, and then I just make that turn because I'm in the middle of the road.
If you're in the middle of the intersection,
Have you not seen people do that? They'll sit in the middle of the road with their blinker on, and then when there's no opening, the light turns red. That's when they'll finally turn because they're in the middle of the fucking road.
well, that was your first mistake, is getting out in the middle of the road.
Dude, I see it 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And it's always by, like on Marvin, by Tomatoes.
They're bad
People
drivers.
just get in the middle of the intersection, and I said, look, they're not going to back up. They're going to wait till the light turns red, and then they'll just turn. It's one of those things that just drives me crazy because I hate fucking stupid people.
Yeah, my thing is like if there's a 4-way stop and people don't know the rules, like, I'll come to a stop and then the person will come to a stop maybe 3 or 4 seconds or after me, and then they'll try to go. I'm like, no, it's whoever stops first. Wait your fucking turn.
Yeah, that's basic driving rules.
Wait your turn. It's not your turn. I was here first. Let me make my turn, or let me go, and then you can go.
I'm also such a huge fan of my horn on my car.
Are you?
Yeah, I'll let them know.
Honda makes a good horn.
They're very reliable horns.
Fucking right. Honda power, baby.
All right, that was my last one. We're gonna go.
That was good.
We're going to sports. We didn't do a news desk. Are we still doing that?
I mean, we can hit it. I don't know how much you want to get into it. You know me, and I love a good conspiracy. So New Year's Eve, we had a couple of terrorist attacks. One in Vegas and one in
was Vegas that Tesla?
The Tesla, the Cybertruck.
Was that proven to be like
an
attack?
Yeah. And then the one because there were the attacker in New Orleans and the attacker in Las Vegas had ties. Like they served in the same army, the same unit in the army.
Oh shit!
So the attacker in Las Vegas, his name was Matthew Livelsberger, and he had
dumbass last name.
Yeah, he had a dumbass first name. He had a manifesto, and apparently in that manifesto, he had apparently had some information about the drones. And forgive me because I didn't pre-read this, so I'm just trying to read and decipher as we go. Apparently this dude, Sam Shoemate, a former intelligence officer and retired chief warrant officer in the U.S. Army, claimed to have received an email from Livelsberger during his Friday appearance on the Sean Ryan Show, a podcast with more than 3 million subscribers on YouTube. In his alleged email manifesto, according to Shoemate, Livelsberger warned that the drones spotted across the East Coast last year pose, quote, the most dangerous threat to national security that has ever existed. The email warned that drones are sent from China and, quote, basically have an unlimited payload capacity and can park it over the White House if they wanted. It's checkmate. The alleged email stated that the drones were being used in a similar fashion to the Chinese spy balloon that was shot down off the coast of South Carolina as both of a show of force and surveillance. Quote, what we've been seeing with the drones is the operational use of gravitic propulsion systems powered by aircraft, most recently China and the East Coast, but throughout history, the U.S. only we in China have this capability, the alleged email reads. Quote, China has been launching them from the Atlantic from submarines for years, but this activity has recently picked up. So that's the thing with these drone sightings. Like they're saying like they're as big as like Suburbans, and they have no obvious means of propulsion. So there's no propellers, there's no nothing, and they have advanced propulsion systems, and they have lifespans of 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, where like most of your modern high capacity, like high end drones have, maybe an hour of capacity. Like, so
I didn't hear about the Chinese angle, because if that's true, man, that's such a fucking flex on us. They're like just parking it in our yard.
Yeah. So they're being launched they're coming from the Atlantic, and they don't know where they're coming from because they're capable of disguise. They're not being picked up on our radar. They're just showing up 50 at a time.
Yeah. See, I'm not a fan of like when people are talking about like the next war, and I'm like, the next war is just going to be like drones and missile strikes. Like it's not going to be boots on the ground like how you romanticize these old.
I think there will be an element of that. I think you'll always need.
Yeah, but you could take a whole squadron and just drop a drone bomb on them and like take out 5,000 guys. What's the point of all that manpower? Yeah. I think it's going to be more advanced than that. It's going to be just like fucking guys controlling drones. So everybody who wants to romanticize the thought of a war is so stupid, because it'll be over pretty quick. I mean, you could decimate, whole battalions with the press of a button.
Do you want me to read the whole manifesto, or do you want me to pick out anything?
Jeez. I don't know. Are we the podcast that reads manifestos? We're teetering on that line.
Okay, all right. That's fair. I just thought it was really interesting.
I mean, you can pick out some high. I guess I don't know. When I think manifesto, I'm thinking you're going to read it for 20 minutes.
No, it's not that long. I'll just, the U.S. government needs to give the history of this, how we're employing and weaponizing it, how China is employing them, and what the way forward is. China is poised to attack anywhere in the East Coast. Let's see. But yeah, he basically says, in case I do not make it to my decision point or onto the Mexican border, I'm sending this now. Please do not release this until Jan 1 and keep my identity private until then. First off, I'm not under duress or hostile influence or control. My first car was a 2006 black Ford Mustang V6 for clarification. So,
pretty boss first car.
Yeah, minus the V6 part. Couldn't have got a V8. Broke boy. So yeah.
Did the Vegas guy die?
Oh yeah.
He was in it?
I think he was in it.
Fuck. Because I saw the clip and it looked like it was full of like fireworks and
there's
almost
explosives.
like he filled it with probably like, nails and ball bearings.
Yeah,
and
there was explosives.
It's pretty shitty.
And then the dude in New Orleans, he had an ISIS flag.
I saw that. I saw that they covered it up.
Yeah.
And he drove from Texas down there.
Yeah. And then the FBI was told certain sections of like North Houston was like, hey, be on the lookout. I think they might have said if you can, kind of lock down. So, yeah, that kind of played into the drone sightings that
I didn't know there was a connection like that.
Yeah.
What's scary is I was telling Claire about all this is the lone wolf element of it all is what's terrifying because it could just be one guy that plans on this that like technically Timothy McVeigh had help from Terry Nichols and one other dude that kind of I think he testified against them, but Terry Nichols and Timothy McVeigh were basically two men that built the bomb that killed like almost 200 people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then nobody really kind of went under the radar because it wasn't a whole cell of guys communicating because now you could make a paper trail and follow him, but if it was just one guy that planned all this.
So and bear with me here because I'm trying to gather my thoughts like on the fly. So after reading that and hearing about the Sean Ryan show, like I'd heard about it, but I'd never tuned in. So, given that it was a current event and it piqued my interest, so I tuned into the Sean Ryan show. And the episode I was listening to, it was a security expert that used to work in the Pentagon, and then I think she worked in Congress somewhere. But it was a 2-hour episode, and she was a national security expert, and they said that she was saying how Al Qaeda is training, and this is just the beginning. And Al Qaeda is training and sending over 1,200 men to commit terrorist acts here. And that was just the beginning.
And probably working as individuals, like, I think they're not working as a unit. They're probably going to come and say, you go to this area, you go here, you go there.
Yeah, and what she said is really disturbing is now Al Qaeda and ISIS have blended together. And in their training camps, they're getting so sophisticated that they're going to schools. So one is like advanced urban warfare. One camp, one school they send them to, quote unquote school, they send them to is suicide vest, like martyrdom. Another one is chemical agents school. And Al Qaeda and ISIS are now blending, and it's even to the point to where they're using aliases within the camp. So not even the guys in the camp are knowing who each other are.
Yeah, that's the way they do it, so you can't just cut the head off.
Yeah.
Like, that's the point of the lone wolf is there's no chain of command.
Yeah.
And you can't you don't know anything else. You just know your task.
Yeah. So I'll send you a link to that one episode if you're interested.
Yeah, man, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like I said, we had the best time to be a child, and now it's the worst time to be an adult. Everything just is on fire.
Yep.
Everything's like now you're learning about, China's got drones that can just take out everybody. These terrorist groups are merging together, and they're actually getting really smart, with how they're going to be operating going forward. And it's just all bad.
Apparently, Osama bin Laden's son is 20 times worse than what his father was, according to this lady.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
and I just want to go to monster truck rallies with my kid.
Yeah. I want to buy. I just want to buy groceries and not spend $400 for my family of 3. That's what I want. Maybe buying a house is gone for me. I think.
I feel like it's like sins of our fathers too. Like America's just kind of been like swinging a big dick around for like ever since they dropped the 2 bombs on Japan, and that's how like all the debts are going to come be paid now.
Well, there's an old quote is like hard times make hard men make soft times make soft men, or something like that. I think like we've been living soft, like as a society, like we've had it really good.
You sure about that?
We haven't gone through like a Great Depression.
We've gone through 2 recessions and 2 once in a lifetime like fiscal downfalls.
I mean,
we went through a pandemic, a 20-year war. We grew up with school shootings. We lived through the age of terror.
School shootings.
School shootings started with Columbine, when I was in 5th grade, getting ready to go to 6th grade, big boy school, and they're like, "Hey, guess what? These 2 guys just killed like 13 people." I'll talk about that because I listened to a book about Columbine, and dude, it was crazy. That's not what their intention was. They wanted it to be a bombing.
Yeah, they wanted it to be a bombing.
Yeah, their whole plan was to take out like pillars of the school and have the library crash down on the lunchroom. They said like if everything had gone right, even the experts were saying like FBI was like, yeah, if everything had went right, because none of their bombs went off.
No,
they were looking for about 500 casualties.
Those dildos couldn't make a bomb.
Well, they could, but they just didn't make
those.
Yeah, they just kind of failed at that, which is a good thing. And then it was like, oh, Plan B, let's just pull these guns out.
Yeah.
You should listen to that book though, that Columbine book.
I need to get back on my book shit.
It was very good. Yeah, what's up with that, man?
I don't know. I think I loved living in misery and suffering through Cowboy season. So I got really back on my podcast game. So, and then like the end of the FC Dallas season, and I got back on the FC Dallas stuff. So,
well, speaking of sports.
Okay, where do we want to start? Sorry, Bern.
Well, we were going to say college football, which we kind of, I guess, a little touched on, just because, the TV rights kind of suck. We got Texas versus Ohio State, Penn State versus Notre Dame, Final Four.
Yeah. So, first round, there was really no good games in the first round. Notre Dame beat Indiana 27-17. Penn State destroyed SMU 38-10. Texas came back 38-24 of Clemson. And Ohio State cruised over Tennessee. And then Oregon got their cheeks clapped by Ohio State. It was 34-0 before.
I saw that,
dude. It was unreal.
I saw my phone, the score.
You want me to tell you about a sports boner that I got?
Let's hear it.
Ohio State has a freshman wide receiver who's, I think, 17. If he was allowed to come out, he would be the number 1 pick in the draft this year.
Trying to think of his name because
Jonathan Smith.
Alabama had a guy too that was a true freshman that was tearing it up, and I was like, dude, these 2 guys are insane. And I'm like, true freshmen, meaning they walked their high school halls like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And now they're like the best player in the college football.
Yeah, Jeremiah Smith, excuse me. So he was the top ranked recruit in the 2024 class.
The whole class.
He could have, if he could come out, he could go play in the NFL as an 18-year-old, and he would be the number 1, not the number 1 receiver. He'd be the number 1 overall pick.
And they just
got
out.
That dude was so good on Wednesday. Dude was electric.
It's kind of, I don't know. I'm not a big Ohio State fan at all, but they are really becoming like a good wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you look at the last like 10 years.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm going blank now, but.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Who?
Larry Fitzgerald.
Well, they just had Marvin Harrison Jr.
That's
Smith and Jigba. Of course, I'm going to say I'm going to go blank, but I feel like they had like the last like 5 years, they've turned out like 5 first-round picks.
No, they have. They have. So yeah, Marvin Harrison. Hold on, let me look this up because
I know I'm not crazy.
No, let's see.
Because at one point they were like, "This is the guy now, and this is the guy waiting, and then this is the guy now, and this is the guy waiting," and they always had someone to step up after the other guy graduated.
Yeah, so they've got like 5 Blitnikoff Award winners over the years. So Harrison Jr.
Yeah,
and then Terry Glenn. Okay, I guess they have 2. So Terry Glenn and Harrison
What year
Jr.
did Terry Glenn win?
Terry Glenn won it in 95.
I was gonna say, isn't that like last?
30
Okay,
years
here we
ago.
go. So they've had 4 first-round picks over the last 3 drafts.
Okay.
Chris Olave,
Yeah.
Chris
See,
Olave,
that's who
Jackson
was-
Smith and Jigba.
Yeah,
Marvin
that's what I
Harrison
was
Jr.
thinking. Was Olave, and then they were like, "Oh, check out this other guy, Smith and what's his name?
Smith and
Jackson
Jigba.
Smith and Jigba." And then they're like, "Oh," and then when he's out, oh, now we got
Garrett
Marvin
Wilson.
Harrison and Garrett Wilson.
So here, since '95, here's the first-round receivers: Joey Galloway, Terry Glenn, David Boston, who's a fucking beast.
That was a physical dude.
Dude, Michael Jenkins in 2004, Santonio Holmes in 2006, Ted Ginn Jr. 07, Anthony Gonzalez 07, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, JSN, and Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, but you're talking last 30 years, but in the last 5 is when they've really picked it up.
Yeah, and then here's some more. Already said Harrison Jr., Curtis Samuel, Xavier Johnson, Garrett Wilson, Olave, Paris Campbell, JSN, Noah Brown, and Terry McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin's really good. But
Yeah.
I was going to say, I like Noah Brown.
Yeah.
Where did he end up going, like Miami?
He's in Houston.
Oh.
I'm
I'm
he's
thinking
in
Cedric
Houston.
Wilson. I like Cedric Wilson, too.
Yeah. So Oregon got clapped, and it was all because of Jeremiah Smith.
Really?
The dude's unreal. He'll be the number 1 pick in 2 years.
See, and I don't know, man. I don't know about, because you have to be 3 years removed from high school, and I think about guys like Marcus Lattimore that just had his life not basically ruined, because that guy could have made millions of dollars in the NFL, and they're like, no, you got to keep playing. And South Carolina was like, we're going to give you the ball 350 times, and it just blew out his fucking knee. And like, that guy's probably coaching high school football now.
Yep.
He could have made $10 million in the NFL.
Yep. So sorry
I
to
think,
cut.
I think if the talent's there,
Yeah.
and you're of age, if you can go join the fucking military, why can't you go to the NFL?
I think you should be able, like, if the Cowboys wanted him, you could draft him now, and then you can get him in 2 years when he's
I
eligible.
like that. Yeah, I'm gonna use my first round pick
We're
right now.
it's gonna be a tough 2 years without a first round pick.
But you're talking about using your pick right now.
Right now you draft him now, but you don't get him until he's
Right.
eligible.
But I would absolutely do that. Because people will be like, I'm going to take Archie Manning in
Yeah.
the 3rd round.
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna
the
go use
problem.
the 7th on Archie Manning.
Yeah, I'm going to just throw a flyer
Arch
up on that
Manning.
guy.
I didn't mean to cut you off earlier, but yeah, the semifinals are. Let me just double check, make sure we're still recording. Okay. You got the 8 seed Ohio State versus the 5 seed Texas. Texas is so weird to me because I think they're the best team in the country who has a quarterback that is keeping them from reaching their ceiling. Quinn Ewers is so weird. Some days he'll look like Joe Montana, and then the next day he'll look like he doesn't belong in a football
Joe
field.
Montana.
Joe Montana. So Texas outlasted Arizona State 39-31 in
Dude, I
double
wish
overtime.
that was the one I want to watch because I'm looking at headlines on my phone. It was like a classic
It was
game.
good.
And I told Claire, like, that's the one fucking game I wanted to
it
watch.
was the best game out of the playoffs so far.
Double overtime.
Dude.
I mean, that alone tells you.
Texas had like 4th and 13, and Arizona State had already scored. 4th and 13, they threw like a fucking seam route, put their nuts out, fucking scored. And then, in overtime, defense, offense, and then the offense turns around as offense again, and then they go on defense.
Yeah.
So you get the ball back to back. First play on the next possession scores a touchdown. It was a
Sounds
good
like
game.
a good
It was a great game.
I'm with you on the Quinn Ewers. It's almost like if maybe he got hurt early in the game and they had to go to Archie, I would like their chances more.
I think they're the best team in the country that has a quarterback that keeps them from reaching their ceiling.
Which is rare because
It's rare.
I mean, I get it, like, because you'd be like, well, look, we're in the playoff. We're in the Final Four, and this guy brought us here, right? Like, that's the argument is we're here because of him. But it's like, yeah, but this other guy's pretty
Arch
fucking
looks
good.
pretty good, man.
Yeah, and if
their defense is really good for a college defense. Like
Texas?
Texas's defense is legit. Like they're really good.
best money could buy.
Yeah. Well, nowadays that's the name of the game. So that takes us to our other semifinal. Notre Dame. Shout out Georgia.
Yeah, where them dogs at?
Notre Dame versus 7th seed versus the 6th seed Penn State. So Penn State beat Boise State 31-14. Our boy Ashton Genty had like 120 yards and 2 fumbles.
I saw a clip where it was like this guy was running against 11-man boxes all game, and it's one play where it's just like a dive up the middle, and my guy broke like 7 tackles and was dragging guys.
Dude.
But when he's the only element of the game you got to guard against, yeah, they're going to stack the
So
box.
you're telling me this guy's worst game of the season is 120 yards against a top 5 rush defense in the nation?
When they knew what was
when
coming.
they know what's coming?
Yeah,
when
they know.
The only weapon they have.
It's it.
I'll take it. That's why when you said, I wonder if his draft, I don't think his draft stock would be affected one bit by that game.
Dude, we're going to be right at that borderline.
We'll get into it. I got the mock drafts pulled up, and we're not going to like it. So, yeah, they won 31-14, so which it sets up Notre Dame and Penn State, which Penn State had a pretty easy road to the final because they played SMU and then Boise. So, you know,
That is pretty fucking easy.
I think people are calling for the 12-team format to go away already because of stuff like this and the blowouts and not a good game. But I just think it's going to take time for college football and NIL to settle because
So
I think
after 1 year.
Yeah.
Well, just think about all the Super Bowls we've seen where it was, you know, like when Seattle beat the shit out of the Broncos, like 45-13.
Yeah, and you know,
Like, I mean, I've seen pro games where the teams get blown out, and it doesn't mean that format's wrong.
yeah, people want to talk.
It's so stupid.
People want to talk about, you know, teams like Boise and SMU getting in, but we saw from the Ohio State Oregon game, the number 1 team in the country got fucking boat raced. Like, it could happen to anybody.
Yeah, that's why it's called Any Given Sunday, but just say Saturday.
I think if we have more time and we let this NIL era settle, I think these smaller teams will get more talent, and you'll see the talent and be spread a little bit more evenly. I even envision a time where you are going to have a salary cap of, ish system put in place where
They might need to, just because teams like, you know, the big dogs will always be able to outspend
Yeah.
the Boise States and
Yeah.
the SMUs.
Yeah, I think you will have some kind of soft cap put in, you know, kind of like a scholarship limit or something. Or
There should be, because
something in between that and like a hard cap, like you see in
you would think though with
in
that we'd be
NFL.
seeing, because like schools like Harvard and Yale, don't they have a huge endowment? It's like, let's spend
Yeah.
that money from these.
I'm glad you brought that up because for the first time ever, they're going to be allowed to enter the 1AA playoffs because they play, you know, Division I, but it's 1AA. So for the first time, they're going to be eligible for those playoffs. So,
Well, they got the money to pay for it.
yeah. So
I was just thinking too, when you brought up Penn State versus Notre Dame, it's kind of like the pedophile bowl, isn't it?
yeah. I don't like Penn State for that reason. I think
They knew.
you gave
Joe Paterno knew what was going on.
I just don't know, man. I think they should have got the death penalty. I think if
Yeah.
you give it to SMU for paying players and
then
paying players.
These people covered up raping boys
Yes.
for like
Sorry.
decades.
Sorry, you lose the privilege
Yeah.
for as long as you knew you don't have a
That's a
program.
good thing. Yeah. So how long did y'all know? 10
30 years.
30 years? Boom. There's a 30-year penalty.
See you in 2060, bitch.
Yeah.
Bye.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
What's worse, paying guys in Camaros, which is
Yeah.
badass,
Yeah.
or covering up the rape of little boys? Come
Yeah.
on now.
Yeah, we all
And
know what it
which
is.
team deserves the death penalty is all I'm saying.
Yeah. So I don't like Penn State. But
No.
yeah,
It's an easy team to not like.
them dudes were smacking the fuck out of Ashton Genty. I mean, laying wood. They were hitting him as hard as they could.
Our boy's taking a beating.
Dude, he got his ass whooped.
Can we talk about mock drafts now?
Yeah,
Because
let's talk about mock drafts. Let me pull it
all
up.
I want is Ashton Genty on this
All
team.
right, so this one's from CBS Sports. This was done yesterday. Not going to like this one. All right, so number 1 overall, they got Travis Hunter. And they got him as an athlete. I've never seen on a pro on an NFL draft.
I saw
board,
Jeff
but-
Kavanaugh talk about it, and he's like, if you're on my team, you're getting the ball as much as you can, so
You're
you're going
being
to
a
be
receiver.
primary wide receiver. And I don't know. I feel like
third down,
yeah,
fast downs.
yeah, it'd
you
be
know?
like special packages. You bring them in, but
Yeah.
it kind of shows to me it's a weak draft class because he's
It
not
is.
the kind of wide receiver that I'm like Calvin Johnson or
Yeah.
what Jeremiah Smith, where you're like,
Yeah.
okay, well, this is the best guy in the fucking draft.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, well, he won the Heisman,
Well-
won the awards.
Well,
And he didn't deserve any of
Kavanaugh does say he is the best player of the draft by a long shot.
But that just, like we said, though, it's not that
Yeah.
top-end draft.
Yeah. So I'm going to go through the top 10, obviously, and then the Cowboys and the NFC East.
Okay.
And anything else I find interesting. So pick 2, Tennessee. And granted, this is with a week left to play in the NFL season. Tennessee's picking Cam Ward, quarterback out of Miami.
Okay.
Round 3 or pick 3, Cleveland picking Mason Graham, the DT out of the defensive tackle out of Michigan. Pick 4, the Giants are picking Shadur Sanders. Pick 5, the Jaguars are picking Will Johnson, cornerback from Michigan. Pick 6, the Panthers are picking Abdul Carter, the edge from Penn State, who is a really good player. Pick 7, the Jets are picking Will Campbell, offensive tackle from LSU. 8, the Raiders are picking Tetroa McMillan, the wide receiver out of Arizona. Pick 9, the guy I really want, if I can't have Genty, Kelvin Banks Jr., the offensive tackle from Texas. I'd slide him into guard, and he'd be a All-Pro in 2 years. Pick 10, Mikael Williams, edge from Georgia, really good player. So I will cruise down to the Cowboys pick, and this is from CBS Sports. They have us picking with Ashton Genty on the board. They have us picking Malachi Starks, the safety from Georgia.
Who the fuck's taking a safety over a guy that could be a 3-down back?
Yeah.
Would you rather have the best safety in the draft or the best running back? I feel like running back has more chances to make a game-changing play.
Yeah. I think Malachi Starks is a good player, but there are probably a couple of dudes.
Yeah, but you got to think, like, name 5 starting safeties.
I think I would pick either one of these wide receivers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want somebody who's going to get the ball and make a difference.
Like Luther Burden from Missouri, I'd take.
I think I've seen him mocked to us in a different one. That's what I'm saying. I just rather, and if it's a defensive player, I guess I'd rather have like an edge.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just feel like safety, that's a weak pick right there.
So they have Ashton Genty going 20 to the Broncos.
And what pick were we? 18?
13.
Oh, we're 13.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. I know we got another. So they got pick 26. They have Washington taking Cameron Williams, a offensive tackle out of Texas, and then they have the Eagles at 28 picking Aronte Ursay, offensive tackle from Minnesota, 6'6", tree charty.
That's a big boy.
It's a big boy. So that's CBS Sports. I got another one here. Let's see. Got number 1, Cleveland Browns picking Shadur Sanders, and this is from yesterday as well. Tennessee's picking Cam Ward at 2. Patriots are picking Travis Hunter at 3. So I think that's really interesting that they have Shadur going number 1 and Travis going 3.
With same teams, though,
Same
right?
teams, basically, except for they have Cleveland picking 1 and picking Shadur instead of the Giants.
That's what I was going to say. They kind of switched the order up, but Patriots still get their guy. Cam Ward still goes.
Yep. They got the Giants picking Will Campbell, the tackle. I'm just going to cruise down to the Cowboys. They have Ashton Genty to the Cowboys at 13. Yeah. So let's see what else. They got Kelvin Banks, the guard, going to Miami at 15, which I wouldn't be super.
If we don't get, if we're on the board and we don't get a running back, but we get an offensive tackle, that
I'm
I
good
feel
with
good.
it.
Yeah, I'm good with
roll.
that.
Let's roll.
I'm always happy to build at the trenches. I think we've established that.
Yep. Let's see. We got.
But goddamn, imagine Genty just hanging thong on everybody, just breaking tackles.
This website's, they're ballsy. They went the Washington's old name.
Oh no, they went the hard R.
The hard R. They got them picking Isaiah Bond, the wide receiver from Texas, which I don't even think Isaiah Bond's the best receiver on Texas. I think Matthew Golden's better. But let's see, and then they have the Eagles, the Sheagles, picking Harold Perkins, outside linebacker LSU. So that's a couple mock drafts. It's gonna get hot and heavy in the next.
Yeah, I just want somebody who can make a difference in a game. So if it's not a running back, I want a receiver. If it's not a receiver, I want a guy that's going to protect the quarterback. When you said safety, that was just that'd be like literally one of the last positions I'd want to fill. And I'm not saying we're good at safety, but I don't know, maybe bring in a veteran on like a 1-year deal. I don't know. And I don't know the guy. Maybe he is the best safety, in the draft and one of the best to come out in the last few years.
They comp him to Brian Branch in Detroit, and if you watch any Detroit, Brian Branch is fucking good.
He is good.
So that's who they comp him.
But who's
to.
more of a game changer in Detroit,
Yeah.
Brian Branch or Jahmyr Gibbs or even David Montgomery?
Yeah.
Like either one of those guys.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just feel like and Rico Dowdle didn't get quite the what's the word I'm looking for? Like enough time to showcase what he can do because this stupid ass coaching staff was like, well, maybe we should start Zeke or maybe Dalvin Cook's to answer. And it's like you had 1,000-yard rusher on your
that was Jerry Hunter.
he just wanted those big names, and it's like, well, if you want to play the best player, how about you start the guy that can get you 1,000 yards in like 9 games?
I don't think Freaky Mike ever wanted Zeke here.
Well, they released him. They're like, we want to give him a chance to go to a playoff team. I said, you think someone else is going to sign his ass? We're the only people stupid enough to even sign him.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere. I did see real quick. I saw the debate because I follow that DLLS,
DLS
and it's on Instagram. So every once in a while, I'll get one of theirs, and I always watch them because they have interesting content, and it's based around Dallas sports. But it was what's his name? Clarence Hill was posing the question: is would Zeke make the Ring of Honor? He's a 2-time Russian champ. He's 3rd all time in the franchise
Jerry
history.
has anything to say with it.
That's what that's what Kavanaugh said was, well, that's Jerry's guy, so he would make it. And they were like, would he make it if you could only put one in though? You putting Dez or you putting Zeke in?
Dez,
100%,
2,000%.
Yeah, that's what I asked.
He
my buddy.
embodies what a cowboy is,
and he is all about the Cowboys too. He's like Irvin, where it's like he's still repping them.
Oh yeah,
that's why I was like, and I don't know. You find me somebody in that era that doesn't like Dez Bryant, and I'll show you somebody with a black eye. Like, fuck that guy. Who doesn't like Dez? Who of our generation isn't a Dez Bryant guy?
Still caught it.
Yeah, hell yeah, he did. That's how I know your son's birthday's coming up. I was like, oh yeah, the divisional playoffs are coming up. Must be Landry's birthday.
Yeah, man. I remember I was watching that game. He was 2 days old, and I was sitting, because I always have that one chair for the dad. I was sitting there holding him. Play went to review.
It looked good too. You're like, we got this.
Yeah, I was like, he's named Landry. This is a sign from God.
You're like Lion King holding your son up. Like, I offer this boy named Landry.
The stars have aligned. This is our fucking year.
That was a good year too, man. We could have had a chance.
And they came back with the call, which was not a catch. Didn't say anything. I just got up, placed him in Lauren's arms, and I just fucking walked out. I just had to take a walk. I just walked for probably 30 minutes, just in pure shock. Like, couldn't believe what
To be fair, though, we were playing against Peak Rogers, and they had like 5 minutes left on the clock. Because we always make it seem like there was no time left. But it's like, they probably would have still scored and beaten us.
Yeah,
but
he did,
in my opinion, he caught it, and he made a play to cross the goal line. And that's when, but that's a football move.
That's a football move.
By definition, he caught it, he secured it, he made a football move.
Fun fact.
I will fucking fight somebody.
Fun fact.
Who tells me he didn't catch that.
Shout out Ryan. He was at that game with Troy.
And Troy, yeah.
Shout
they
out.
made a road trip, and they were the nicest people.
And the night before they left, Ryan was partying with fucking Jerry Springer.
Was that same trip?
That's the same trip.
What a
he was
legendary trip.
partying like in Dallas with Jerry Springer. He sent me a picture. I was in the hospital. We were in the hospital. He sent me a picture. I was like, look at this son of a bitch, showed Lauren.
Yeah, I'm sure you're like, you're full of shit. There's no way Jerry
sent
Springer's
pictures.
there.
I'm
He's
like,
like, hold on real quick. It was like, God damn it. And Matt's over here changing diapers and Ryan's partying with Jerry Springer.
And then they went to Green Bay. So,
what a legendary trip.
So I've got the Cowboys schedule pulled up. I went back and looked. Our last episode was November 10th, but we recorded it like the day before. So that was the day before the first Philly game. So at that point, we were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We were 3-5.
Mm-hmm. I think we
and it was looking good. It was looking good. I was like, all right, Team Tank, top 3 pick, here we come. And then they fucked it up and started winning.
Would they go 5 out of 6 or something?
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5, yep.
4 out of 6. So
I was saying, like, dude, we can't even fucking tank right.
So that first Philly game was November 10th. We lost 34-6. We had a Monday night against Houston, which it looks really bad. Like, we have some losses that look fucking terrible because Houston is a fake good football team. They're not good. They beat us 34-10. New Orleans, terrible. They blew our fucking doors off.
Yeah.
And then we beat the Commanders 34-26. We beat the Giants.
I'll take that game though. A divisional game like that, like I'm okay with that win.
Lose them all.
I'm okay with the divisional win.
We beat the Giants 27-20 on Thanksgiving. We lost 27-20 to the Bengals, which we probably should have won that game.
Bengals are a good team with a bad record.
Yeah.
Like Joe Burrow should honestly be like top 3 MVP.
I think he should. Yeah, I think he is.
Or just win the whole fucking thing.
Is.
Yeah.
They still got their season on the line this weekend. So.
That's what I heard. They still got a chance. So if they make it, come on.
I hope they don't make it, and I hope they fire Zach Taylor and give me Zach Taylor for OC for the Cowboys. 110%.
Probably for like a year though. He's not going to.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
We should talk coaches after this too, because I still want my same guy.
We will. We're not getting him, but
you know what I'm talking about?
Ben Johnson?
No. Oh, I know he's not coming. Okay. I think Ben Johnson should go to Chicago. Chicago with that young offense.
Oh, I read a headline that Ryan Poles, the GM for Chicago, is actively telling ownership not to hire Ben Johnson because he's afraid Ben Johnson will push him out as GM. Well,
Ben Johnson does seem like he's kind of being a bitch about it. Like he wants full control. And it's like, dude, you're a first year coach, and he wants like, this is my team. Like I'm gonna do everything. And I'm like, maybe wait until you like win some fucking playoff games. I don't know. I mean, like good for him for being bold or coach a single game. Yeah, he's like, this is my team. Like I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna do everything. I'm like, dude, you're an offensive coordinator right now. You're not even a coach yet.
Yeah, we'll talk about coaches. So yeah, after that Cincy loss, we beat Carolina, who was on a heater. Shout out to Bryce Young for kind of rejuvenating his career. Like
I hope he makes it.
I hope he makes it too because I think he's a super good dude.
He's a good person.
He's a good dude. And this one was an impressive win because I think Baker Mayfield and the Bucs are a good team. We beat them 26-24.
Dude, they were bad. They're still battling for first place. Yeah. That was a first place divisional team that since they lost to us was now tied.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that was our best win of the season.
Yeah.
Besides Cleveland in week 1.
And then last week we got smoked 41-7.
Yeah.
And then coming up, we're recording on a Friday. So Sunday we got the Commanders at home.
And they're going to be sitting a lot, aren't they? Because they're locked in.
No.
They can't win any.
It's the difference between the 6th seed and going to play the Rams or the 7th seed and going to play Philadelphia. So they have a ton on the line.
Oh, okay. I'd much rather play the Rams if I'm
they have a ton on the line.
Okay. Well, then I take that back. So we got a chance to lose then.
Yeah, we will.
And what would that put us at?
Because there are rumblings.
8 and 9?
That'll put us at. If we lose, that'll put us at 7 and 10. 7 and 10. So there are rumblings that Trey Lance is going to start this game, which guarantees a loss.
I'm okay with that.
Should have been starting the whole time.
He really should have been.
And now I will give Freaky Mike props because this team in a very quittable situation. He had those guys ready to play every week.
That's what I was telling buddies. I was like, the fact that the team didn't quit on him like they did Wade Phillips, I was like, they're going to look at that.
And I think this is setting up. I don't know that they'll go this way, but it's certainly setting it up from the outside to keep Mike. I think that's a real possibility.
I feel like he's got talent, top end talent, and he's not making the team better. He's just kind of coasting.
I don't think that's his fault. I think Jerry's set this team up to fail. Like we talked about, the season was lost in March, in my opinion. And I think he's put McCarthy in a really, really bad spot.
Yeah.
Building a team.
Dude, re-signing your quarterback the day of week 1 is so weird. No other team would do that.
You knew you were signing him the whole time, but he did it because he just wants to keep the Cowboys relevant.
That's all it is. That's why if you've seen the comments, they're like, well, we don't know what we're going to do with Micah yet. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Like he's one of the best young defensive players in the whole league.
And Mike is out here saying, hey, I don't have to make game-changing money. I'd rather take a deal and have money to spread around and make a team better. Who fucking talks like that? Nobody. I bet you his agent flipped his fucking lid when he said that. Because nobody talks like that.
But the fact that the Cowboys are like, we'll see, it's like they're just saying that so they can stay relevant in the media.
That's all it is.
So you'll talk about it, and they know they're going to fucking re-sign this guy, but they'll wait until there's a slow news cycle, right? They're not going to do it in the Super Bowl or the draft.
They'll wait till July.
Yeah.
They'll wait till June or July.
When they want to be relevant again. Yeah. They'll start talking about it, and then the deal will finally get done. It's like, We could have done this shit 6 months ago, dude.
You want to talk coaches real quick, and then what are we watching, listening to, and get out?
I still want Mike Vrabel.
I think that's who it's lining. I think that's who it's lining up to be.
I feel like
if it's not Mike, it's Vrabel.
Because a normal team without a, such a hands-on like
crazy owner
would say, let's get a guy who's a former player. Team like, I think he did fantastic with Tennessee. Like he took them to like conference championships, and it's like the guys play for him. He's one of the boys, you know what I mean? Because he's like 50, maybe 55.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, he played in the 2000s. He won Super Bowls with the Patriots.
Yeah,
like he's been there. He's got skin in the games. Can still whoop all of our asses. Like he's a big, strong dude. I don't know. He's kind of like, he reminds me of Dan Campbell. Like he was Dan Campbell before Dan Campbell was a coach.
Okay.
That's my pick.
I'd be okay with Vrabel, but my first question would be, Dak is your quarterback. Who is your offensive coordinator? And depending on your answers, depending on whether you get this job.
Vrabel is a defensive guy, so I hope he says, I'm just gonna get the smartest guy out there. I hope he's not like, well, I worked with so and so and he's my boy. That shit shouldn't be. But like you said, some head coach is gonna get fired. Like Mike McDaniels or Zach Day.
Give me Mike McDaniels for the head coach.
Somebody that like, hey, they need a year or two to rebound and get like, because who was that like Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn got fired. They're like, oh, he collapsed in the playoffs. He came here. He collapsed in the Super Bowl. You think he's done as a coach? He had to put together a great defense, and now he's on a team. Now he's head coach of a team that's about to go to the playoffs. So give us an OC that's like needs a rebound in his career, for a little 2-year stopgap, just to get back up to that level of head coach.
I got 3 names for OC. Mike McDaniel if he gets canned, Zach Taylor if he gets canned, and you can't get him because he's working as an OC now. But
Kingsbury,
give me Kingsbury.
Yeah. So I'm saying 3 guys, relatively young guys, who know how to make an offensive scheme. At this point, I miss Kellen Moore too. Like,
look what he's doing. He got Saquon 2,000 yards. He got him within 100 yards of breaking the record.
That'd be an asterisk there. Didn't Dickerson do it in like 14?
16. So it's just one more game, and it's not Saquon's fault that they added a game.
It's not, but at the same time.
But there was a guy that when Eric broke it that
who.
Eric Dickerson.
Oh, when talking about it like our buddy.
No, when he broke it, I'm sure he broke it from a dude who played 12 games.
Well, OJ played in 14, didn't he?
Okay, so see, he got 2 more games. So it happens. I mean, I don't view it as an asterisk. But look what I would take Kellen. But I think this thing is going to come down to Vrabel. I think you're going to hear Jason Witten's name.
Which is weird because it's like, what is Witten doing now? Coaching high school?
Yeah. Yeah, he just won a state championship with the Suns.
Cool. Or how about Mike Vrabel that took the Titans to the AFC Championship game?
Yeah, I don't agree with it.
Like, he took them, they were like 14-2.
I don't agree with it, but...
And other than Derrick Henry, name 3 other Titans on that team.
Marcus Mariota.
That's a shitty player. Where they had Tannehill at quarterback.
Oh, was it Tannehill?
It was probably Tannehill.
Probably.
But I'm saying, like, he took that team to 14-2 with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback, a converted wide receiver.
A.J. Brown. One-year Titan.
That was a good fucking team.
A.J. Brown's so fucking good, dude.
That guy's got that dog in him.
He's so fucking good.
He is good. That's like when I'm like, oh, man, imagine if we had a GM and we could trade for A.J. Brown, and then we could sign Saquon, and we could draft all these good players.
That's why I hate the argument that Jerry says we don't have money. Philly does it. Philly is fucking aggressive when it comes to getting better.
Well, that's the word to describe it. They're aggressive. Because you got to think, your window to win is so small, right? There's only 3 or 4 teams where the window's open right now. There's 28 other teams that are waiting for their window to open. So when that window peaks open, just fucking do everything. Mortgage the future for the next 10 years. That's what the Rams did. They traded everything. They had no cap space, no draft picks, but they got a Super Bowl.
I think there's ways. I think this cap is more malleable than what the Cowboys would lead you to believe. I think there's always ways to massage it and work it, and they have a cap guy who it doesn't come from football. He's a finance dude.
Yeah.
He comes from the world of finance, and that's his only job is to look at the cap and figure out ways to free. You figure out a way to let me spend money. That's his only job.
We know there's a way because for years they've diverted money down the line.
And what's fucked up about all this stupid cat bullshit is Jerry started it all.
Yeah, because he thought guys are going to want to come play for me. So what do I care? I'll put a cap on
Well,
this shit.
he also did it to ensure that all the owners made profit.
That's why he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He made a lot of people a lot richer.
The innovation he brought to the game,
Yeah. Well,
the modern game.
the financial parts of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
TV deals.
yeah, that's what it was. It was
yeah.
like endorsements because before people didn't name stadiums AT&T Stadium.
No, it
you
was
had a cool name for it, like after
Three
this
Rivers.
guy. Yeah, they had all these old stadiums
Vet.
were so much cooler.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, they're going to be at Snickers Stadium. And I'm like, God damn it, dude! Whatever happened to fucking
Snickers Stadium
Three
brought to you
Rivers?
by Lay's.
Yeah, where did the yeah, because everything's brought to you by this, presented by this.
Yeah.
Like Candlestick Park. That just sounds so
Fucking
cool.
so cool.
Yeah, it sounds
Texas
so cool.
Stadium.
That's what I still call it.
We're going to Texas Stadium.
I like Texas Stadium.
Yeah.
But no, now it's so and so brought to you by this.
And then Ford Field. Ford Field at AT&T
okay,
Stadium.
well, Ford Field in Detroit though makes sense.
Well,
That's
yeah.
what you're talking about?
No, but I'm just saying it's like Twizzlers Field at AT&T Stadium. You know,
Yeah.
they even have to sell naming rights to the
Well, that's
field
what it is.
that resides in the stadium.
Everything, and then everyone's a sponsor, the official
Yeah.
sponsor. We're the official We're the official burger of
Yeah,
the Cowboys. We're the
Whataburger.
official socks of the Cowboys. And I get it, right? Everything's about making money, but there's certain things should just be sacred.
Yeah, I agree.
Like bring back like Candlestick Park. That just sounds so cool.
Yeah,
Three
Three
Rivers.
Rivers.
That just sounds so cool.
The Vet, RFK.
All of those places, man.
Yeah.
And I could. And yeah, now RFK's FedEx Field.
Shithole.
Fuck them. All right, you want to talk about what you've been watching? And I was gonna say drinking.
What you drinking? What you thinking? I haven't watched football because I just try to get in. I love football so much, and football is such a short period of time. I feel like it's here and then it's gone. So I just try to watch as much as I can. I listened to the 2-part Necronomipod on Columbine, which was I've never heard them tone it down and kind of be I don't know what the word is, but they were like very respectful, and they weren't as jokey and as kind of crude and crass as they normally are and can be. I felt like they approached it with some respect, and
I bet because it's so not relatable, but you gotta think they're our age, so that should happen when they were in school.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, yeah, it's almost like touched too close to home.
yeah,
So I'm saying that kicked off. Like I remember because I told Claire, I was like, "Do you remember that?" Like I told her, like, you remember the two images that I can remember was the boy in the window, and then when all
he
the
was
kids
paralyzed,
were
dude.
coming out. Yeah, Patrick Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
That guy ended up being like the salutatorian of his college and graduated valedictorian in high school, and he ended up having a great life. But I was like, I remember that, and I remember them all coming out with their hands up. You know, that line of kids walking out, and I said we talked about it the next day in school because I remember I had this teacher named Miss Peterson, and I said Miss Peterson was telling us about it and was like, making
She
us.
was probably crying.
Yeah, it was fucking rough because she was like, y'all are in the 5th grade. Next year, you're going to be an intermediate. And, it's different. And I remember thinking, like, fuck. Like,
I wasn't-
shit like this happens outside of, like, I'm going to go to big kid school, and that's where this shit happens.
I was in 7th grade. I was in junior high.
You were 2 years ahead of me.
Yeah.
So I was in 5th grade going into 6th. And that meant, like, basically the end of my childhood.
Yeah.
Because it was in April. So it's near the end of the
April
year.
20th.
And I was like, my childhood's over. Columbine, like, ended my childhood.
Yeah.
Because I'm 5th grade. I'm getting, like I said, going to big boy school, and now this is a real thing for me.
Yeah.
That was terrifying.
And 3 years later was 9/11.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty, shit got real pretty quick.
But yeah, that's what I've been listening to, and then podcast, 1 Star podcast with KT and John Machota. That's my favorite one. They had an hour and a half one they released yesterday, so that was good. I got to listen to it on the way to and the way from work, so that was awesome.
I might play something tonight. I'm playing a video game. 'Cause I'm off tomorrow,
Nice,
and I'm off Monday.
nice.
Is that it?
I'm trying to think I've been watching
Okay.
I've been watching when we're going to bed. Lauren, she works a lot of evenings, so she stays up later. So when I get to bed, she's still up, kind of watching stuff. She's watching 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah, y'all been on that.
Yeah, and now I'm the annoying husband where I come in, and she's current, and like I've seen some of these people like in previous episodes. I'm like, so those two, they're still together. And now what's their story? And she's like, and she's explaining, do you just want to start over? No, I don't want to start over. I just want you to catch me up. So, yeah, I've been watching that with her a little bit. Oh, Sonic 3. Saw Sonic 3 in theaters.
Movie theater
That was
experience,
good.
always fun.
That was good. Got some popcorn, some $20 popcorn.
Yeah, could have just got 20 glizzies.
Yeah.
You got to think, dude.
Dude.
It's way more affordable,
I got,
logical.
I think 2 or 3, and Landry got 1. So, yeah.
He's on the right track.
Oh,
He'll get there.
Oh, yeah.
Before you know it, he'll be eating 2 at a time.
Oh, yeah. He's graduated. Like, we don't get kid meals. Pfft, no. We'll go to Whataburger. It's number 1.
Pretty soon it's going to be number 2.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Well, mine's quite the list because I think it's like all the books for starting in November. But I'll do watching first. So I did some Christmas movies. My Christmas movies, we watched,
Of course.
as a family, we watched Gremlins, The Santa Claus with Tim Allen, which was like
Great.
peak Tim Allen.
Great.
Dude, that was such a good movie. Like rewatching that, I was like, this is way better than I even remember it because now, we're parents, right, of kids of age. And it's like, he's such a relatable dad. Like he really was.
Did you get any Jingle All the Way in?
Nope.
Oh, that's a good one.
We were talking about Home Alone 2, but we didn't get around to that.
Watch that. Oh, sorry. I did watch Christmas Vacation, Home Alone 2, and Jingle All the Way.
Well, dang, that's 4 solid Christmas
Sorry.
movies.
Yeah, I did get those.
Ours was Gremlins, Santa Claus, Polar Express, which in the last 3 years has become like a tradition of us watching it. And I watched Christmas Office Party.
Oh,
Whatever it's called. It's like Jason Bateman.
yeah.
It was pretty good. It was all right. We started watching that Beast Games on Amazon.
Yeah.
At least I'm really into that. And
Yep.
I don't know, man. I was kind of watching. I'm like, it's almost like an experiment because all it is, it's like taking not like poor people, but just lower middle class
it's okay.
people.
You can call them poor.
Yeah, it's like us, right? And it's like, let me see what you're willing to do for money. And it's like,
see how desperate you are.
yeah, and they're literally like, because it's him and all his buddies, Mr. Beast, and they're like up on high platforms, and they're just they're like, oh, look at these ants down here scrambling for money. It's like, how cutthroat are you? Like, do this to your best friend. And I'm like, dude, this is almost like an experiment of like class system to
Mr.
just
Beast
show
sucks,
if you have
dude.
enough money. Oh, does he?
Yeah, I think there's some. And I don't know if they're true.
I remember one of his buddies was like some pedophile shit.
Yeah, it's alleged. Yeah.
It's like, why can't, dude, if I had all that money, like, only thing y'all are going to hear bad about me is like, I don't know, nothing, because I'm not going to do fucking anybody. I'm not going to do anything
I'm going to
bad.
be on my 100 acres.
Yeah, like, seriously, I'm not going to bother anybody. Like, maybe I just don't, I don't know. No, I can't even think of anything bad I would do. Also on Amazon, Ryan suggested that I watch Motherless Brooklyn. Really
Is that good?
movie. I really liked it. Also listened to the book and the movie. It's one of those rare cases where the movie was way better than the book. The book, honestly, I was kind of just like glad to be over with it. On Netflix, Claire and I currently watching No Good Deed. Has Ray Romano and Lisa Kudrow. They're trying to sell a house. It has all these dark secrets. We watched The Kings of Tupelo. Tupelo, Mississippi is where Elvis was from, so it's like a documentary. It's almost like, it reminded me of Tiger King, where it's like an outrageous story with even more outrageous characters. So these people are just fucking crazy. We watched This Is the Zodiac Speaking.
Did watch that too.
Yeah, so
Thanks
all
for the
those
reminder.
on Netflix, and then I watched Mad Max, The Furiosa,
Was
which
that
is the
good?
newest one. It was really good. Yeah, I love Mad Max. So that's what I've been watching. This is what I've been reading. Mao's Great Famine by Frank Ducater, which was, it's about his leap forward with society. It was like 60 million people died during that. Like, it's fucking crazy in like less than 10 years. Zodiac by Robert Graysmith, Motherless Brooklyn, Jonathan Latham, The Institute by Stephen King, Moneyball by Michael Lewis. That was really cool. It's a good
It's a
baseball
good one.
book. Contact by Carl Sagan, Terror in the City of Champions by Tom Stanton was pretty cool. It focused on Detroit in like the 1930s. There was this underground organization called the Black Legion that was basically just like, this terrible society. Like, basically they were like the Northern KKK. So they were against, blacks, Catholic Jews. But at the same time, there was like this renaissance of sports happening in Detroit where the Lions, the Tigers, and the Red Wings all won a championship in the same year. And they were like the only team to ever do that.
Oh wow.
And all this was on the backdrop, in in the midst of this Black Legion going on, kind of running the city. So that was pretty cool. Charlie Hustle by Keith O'Brien was about Pete Rose and his downfall, and huge Pete Rose fan.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead. Well, I think it's Whitehead. That's making a movie. It was pretty good. Columbine by Dave Cullen. Really good. Recommend you listen to that.
Mm-hmm.
Took the guy like 10 years to write it because he just wanted to get like everything
Yeah.
right.
How long is it? Audio version?
I think it was around 14 hours, which is a good length book. The Johnstown Flood by David McCullen. He writes a lot of history books, and that was pretty fucked up. They're like over 2,000 people died in this flood when the dam broke because rich people made a dam up so they could look down at their poor people, and then the dam broke, and they were like, whoopsies, and just let everybody die.
Fucking hate it.
Yeah. The Pastures of Heaven by John Steinbeck was like a collection of 12 stories. It was really good. The Jeffersonian Republicans by Christopher Collier. And what I'm currently listening to now, finally got into it, and I'm thrilled, A Game of Thrones, George R.R. Martin. That's his first book. So I'm coming home and I'm telling Claire, like, all these characters, like what the Lannisters are doing and how they're, the Targaryens are getting
that's
screwed.
pretty big
and
one,
she's
too.
looking at me like her pants are getting tighter and tighter. Like she's just drawing those strings closed, like double knotting them. Like,
Closing up shop, buddy.
Yeah, like, I hope you don't want any of this because you're just going to talk about fucking dragons. Yeah, fucking nerd, get out of here. And I'm like, this book is so
Sahara.
good. Like, I'm like 2/3 of the way done with the first book, and I already have all my loans placed on like the next ones. I'm just going to burn through these books.
Nice.
That's it.
All right, man. Do we want to get into... No, we won't. We'll save it for maybe next episode.
What?
The United Healthcare CEO. You want to talk
Now
about
you want to
that?
bring that up?
We'll put a pin in it, and we'll talk about it next episode.
We'll just take a shot at it next time.
Yeah, we'll take a stat. Oh, I see what you did there. Almost got past me. I see what you did. All right, man. Yeah, that's it. That's a wrap.
Hey, next episode, 50.
We're on
need
49.
somebody.
Yeah, we'll be reaching out to our people.
We got a couple of friends.
Yeah,
that
maybe
might,
2.
that might actually want to talk to us.
Yeah. All right. Well, for number 49, I'm Matt.
And I'm Andrew.
We're out.